Sharks top line with Macklin Celebrini, and he's playing in between Nikolai Kovalenko and Will Smith, and then probably Nazem Kadri's line to get the offensive zone starts with Jonathan Huberdeau and likely Adam Klapka flanking him in this game against the Sharks. And then I think we'll probably see a lot of the pairing of Joel Hanley and Mackenzie Weegar against those guys. So long story short, don't let the Sharks' dynamic rookie duo beat you almost single-handedly. And number 3, play like your season is on the line, because, well, your season is on the line. Yeah. You need at least a point to remain mathematically alive in the fight for a wild card spot in the Western Conference, and you need 2 points to remain realistically in the fight for a Stanley Cup playoff spot. The good news is, if the Flames can take care of business and sweep their season series versus the Sharks, they will still be very much alive in the fight for one of the 2 wildcard spots in the Western Conference. And then we'll turn our attention to Tuesday night, Pat, because the Flames play, and so do the 2 teams they're battling with, the Blues and the Wild. So if we don't have an answer tonight, we might have one on Tuesday.
Yep, and it now is confirmed that if the Flames are going to make the playoffs, it'll be Game 82 that decides it. But first, they got to win Game 80. They really do. Those are your keys to victory tonight. Brought to you by Country Hills Ford. We'll check back in with Wilsey in a little bit as we move closer to puck drop here. We are approaching 35 minutes away from the Flames and San Jose Sharks. This is your Flames warm-up pregame show. It's Pat Steinberg, Logan Gordon along with you. No surprises for the Flames out there as warm-up is underway. Dustin Wolf and Georgi Romanov have led the Flames and Sharks onto the ice. That'll be your goaltending matchup tonight, and no surprises out there for the Flames. Everybody is accounted for. The one guy we're always watching for to take warm-up is Rasmus Andersson. He has not been taking morning skates, clearly playing through something, but he is out there and will play tonight. Speaking of tonight, it's time for the NHL tonight, brought to you by Glenmore Audi. Spring into Audi with up to $2,000 in stackable cash. Rates from 0% on in-stock 2025 Audi Q5s and complimentary Audi care on all vehicles. Visit GlenmoreAudi.com. Okay, Logo, it is locked in for a 4th consecutive year. We are going to see the Los Angeles Kings and Edmonton Oilers go head-to-head in round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They will make up the number 2 and 3 seeds in the Pacific Division once again. Vegas locked up the division title yesterday, so they will be the 1 seed in the Pacific. Oilers have won the prior 3 years when these 2 teams have met up, and it feels like those 3 series have gradually become less competitive, and the Oilers were the better team. They won the first one, and that was a grind, and then year 2 and year 3 felt a whole lot more cut and dried. The Oilers were the better group. But Edmonton may not have Matthias Ekholm. It's been a down year for Connor McDavid statistically, plus injuries. Leon Draisaitl's been battling something. They've got some other injuries that are affecting them right now. Feels like they might be a beat-up team, and LA's the best home ice team in the NHL. How do we feel about Kings-Oilers year 4 consecutively in the playoffs?
First of all, it's crazy that we're in year 4 of this. Next thing is, you got to be as motivated as ever if you're the LA Kings to try to get past this team that's just consistently found a way to beat you. And I don't know, I'm surprised the Kings are back in this spot. I didn't know how to feel about Darcy Kemper and his role in LA. He's been great. I still don't know if LA's got enough. It's going to be a tough battle. The Oilers are banged up, and no Ekholm could be a big difference maker for this team down the stretch. But the LA Kings, I think, have met a really tough demon. Down the stretch here. And it's going to be tough no matter what. I do think we see a close series this time because a lot of Oilers, as you mentioned, had career years last year that got them all the way to a Stanley Cup final, but they haven't had that same sort of success this year statistically.
Well, and a lot of the top the top players for the Oilers, we know all about who they are, what they are, and what they're capable of, but it's been some of the bit players or the secondary players that haven't been as significant or as impactful for the Oilers this year, right? I mean, you take a look at what we've seen from Zach Hyman this year, what you've seen from like newcomers Arvidsson and Skinner.
Hasn't been enough there.
Right? Like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins hasn't had the same type of year as he had last year. It just hasn't been the same type of year for the rest of the depth for that Oilers team, and as a result, they, for the first time in a little while, they go into a first-round series, and I don't know, maybe it's wishful thinking being what city we're in, but it kind of feels like maybe the Oilers are a little vulnerable this year.
Yeah, I think I want to believe that, but I'm going to wait and see exactly what this looks like when the series gets going, because every time I thought the Kings were in a good spot to match up against the Oilers, either penalty troubles or just, having the better players has come out on top for Edmonton, and I need to see something from LA before I believe it.
Yeah, and the Kings are having a really nice year. They've gotten great contributions from Doughty since he's been back, and Quentin Byfield has taken a slight step once again. So Los Angeles looks like they're no pushover as well, which is, but I'm with you. Like, until I
felt
see
that
it,
way before, right?
Right, exactly. And until I see it from the Kings, and what we're talking about with this Oilers team, I mean, that team knows how to step it up when it's the most important time of year, and so do some of their best players. So, well, it is 4 consecutive years. I know the NHL, when they instituted these divisional playoff rules, wanted to start to create some rivalries. I think they've probably done that with the Kings and the Oilers, because all they do is play in the playoffs.
Got to be sick of each other by now.
I would imagine so. We'll see how that plays itself out on this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. All that still needs to be decided is where Game 1 and thus a potential Game 7 would end up being played. As of right now, Los Angeles is in the driver's seat to lock up the number 2 seed and thus home ice advantage in that series, but that still needs to be determined between now and the end of the regular season. That is the NHL Tonight, brought to you by Glenmore Audi. Spring into Audi with up to $2,000 in stackable cash, rates from 0% on in-stock 2025 Audi Q5s, and complimentary Audi care on all vehicles. Visit GlenmoreAudi.com. It is the Flames and San Jose Sharks on this Sunday night. Here's the situation for Calgary. They cannot lose another game in regulation if they want to make the playoffs. They got San Jose tonight, Vegas on Tuesday, in LA on Thursday. So 3 more games to go. They need to go at minimum 2-0-1, and they need help. They will need help on Tuesday regardless, when St. Louis hosts Utah and Minnesota plays host to Anaheim. Those 2 games, Minnesota has to lose in regulation for the Flames to still have a chance to catch them, and St. Louis needs to lose. If the Blues win in regulation or Minnesota gains a point, then it is an auto-elimination standpoint for the Flames. But at this point, Flames are still alive when it comes to this year's postseason. We'll continue taking a look at what this game looks like. We'll get some lines, pairings, and more when we come back. Flames and San Jose Sharks at the Scotiabank Saddledome. We're now exactly 30 minutes away from puck drop, and this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960 The Fan.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Homes by Abbey and Country Hills Ford. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
I got my money.
Me too.
Same here. $30,000 for whatever I want.
Hey, Calgary, right now at Homes by Abbey. Purchase any front drive, lane home, or duplex home. You'll receive a $30,000 credit to personalize it any way you want. Create a fully finished basement. Build a detached garage. Grab some premium upgrades or add a legal suite. Homes by Abbey. Built for you. Designed your way. Some conditions apply. Visit homesbyabbey.com for full details.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with a range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. In stock now with rates from 2.99%. Visit prairiehonda.ca for details.
Drought Fighter, included with every Green Drop program. Disease control also included with every Green Drop program, both at no extra cost to you. Since 1979, Green Drop has been making beautiful weed-free lawns guaranteed and offer easy online booking with payment options. Take us up on our guarantee and let us do what we do best, so you can relax and enjoy your yard. Book today.
Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Visit greendrop.com.
Now, more of the Flames Talk pregame show, taking you up to puck drop on the official home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Okay, we are less than half an hour away from puck drop. It's the Flames and San Jose Sharks here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Pat Steinberg along with you live in the Peter Maher broadcast booth tonight, brought to you by South Point Toyota. The Get In and Go event is on now with the best inventory and the best interest rates of the year, as low as 0% under the tower at South Point Toyota. Derek Wills upstairs with us as well. Warm-up continues on the ice, and some different-looking lines, perhaps, for the Flames this evening, as we get to take a look at lines and pairings for the Flames and Sharks, respectively. What are we looking at tonight, Wilsey?
Yeah, we saw some different combinations as that game against the Wild went on Friday night, and the look that we saw at the end of that game is what we'll see, at least to start this game against this Sharks team on a Sunday night. We'll start with the Flames and with their forwards and go from left to right. Huberdeau with Kadri and Klapka, Coleman with Backlund and Coronado. So the top six stays intact, but the bottom six does not. Sharangovich with Frost and Pospisil, and Lomberg with Rooney and Farabee. On defense, Hanley with Weegar, Ball with Anderson, Bean with Bahal, Wolf gets the start and goal, and Vladar will back him up. For the Sharks, their forwards, Kovalenko with Celebrini and Smith, Eklund with Wenberg and Toffoli, who did not play last Monday in the Flames' 3-2 victory over the Sharks at SAP Center in San Jose, but is back in the lineup for this game against his former team here at Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary today. And then it's Gregor with Delandria and Goodrow, and Grunstrom with Estapchuk and Bordeleau. On defense, Thrun with Liljegren, Carlson with Ruda, Vlasic with Thompson, Romanov gets the start and goal, and Georgiev will back him up.
It is a big night for the Flames, we know that. Hey, they're trying to stay in this thing as long as humanly possible. You've got some interesting Flames numbers as we get set for this matchup tonight.
Here's a question for you, Pat. Little spur-of-the-moment trivia question.
Okay.
How many goals do we want the Flames to score in this game?
That's pretty easy. I think that 4 would be the correct answer.
It would be. That's the magic number for the Flames, but the bottom line is they have scored 3 or fewer goals in 63 of the 79 games they've played in this season. That does not include shootout wins, by the way. But their 23 wins when scoring 3 or fewer goals are actually most in the NHL. And they have scored 3 goals in all 3 games against the Sharks this season. We'll see if it's 4 for 4 with the Flames scoring 3 and looking for a 4th win versus the Sharks here at the Dome on this Sunday evening. The Flames, though, when they do get to 4, have an NHL-long 34-game winning streak. They're a perfect 15-0-0 this season. Of course, they got to 4 in their 4-2 victory over the Wild on Friday. We'll see if they can get there again against the Sharks in what I'm expecting to be a close contest, Pat, and people might be surprised by that. But the reason being, these two teams have played 3 times this season, and the Flames have won 3-1, 3-2, and 3-2, so they've been very competitive contests. I guess the good news from a Flames perspective, they only have 2 regulation losses in 1-goal games this season. They are 18-2 and 14. So they have picked up a point in 32 of 34 1-goal games. I think that's a really impressive stat. Another impressive stat, the Flames come into this game with a 14-game point streak versus Pacific Division opponents. They're 9-0-5 during that stretch, and on the season they've been fantastic against teams inside of their division, and it's a tough division, but the Flames are 13-4-6. That's a .696 point percentage in 23 games against the Pacific Division this season. They also come in, and this might surprise some because the Flames have been fighting tooth and nail for a playoff spot for quite some time, and it might feel like they're not playing the best hockey, but they actually are. They've got a 5-game point streak going 3-0-2 during that stretch and are 8-2-3. That's a .731 point percentage in their last 13 games. And yeah, they've been pretty dominant versus the Sharks in the last few seasons. 10-1-0 in their last 11 versus the Sharks. We'll see if they can make that 11-1-0 and move a little closer to a Stanley Cup playoff spot with a win here tonight.
What does this playoff race look like to you, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tall task. The Flames are trying to become the second team in National Hockey League history to overcome a 5-point deficit in the final 4 games to make the playoffs. The only other team to do it the 1958-1959 Toronto Maple Leafs. So the first step for the Flames is they've got to win this hockey game. I know they only need a point to stay mathematically alive, Pat, but they need 2 to stay realistically alive, and even that might be a stretch. But if the Flames can beat the Sharks in this game, that would mean that when you take a look at the updated Western Conference standings at the end of the night, you'd have the Wild at 95 points and in the first wild card spot. You have the Blues at 94 points and in the second wild card spot. And then again, if you add 2 points, assuming that the Flames beat the Sharks on this Sunday night, which is not an assumption I'm willing to make, but let's just for argument's sake say they do pick up 2 points tonight, that would move them to 92. So they'd be 2 out of the second wild card and 3 out of the first wild card, but chances are they're not going to win any tiebreakers with the Wild for sure, or with the Blues. So the Flames probably have to finish a point ahead of those 2 teams to get in, and that would set up what would be a huge Tuesday night. So the Flames would still have 1 game in hand on both the Wild and the Blues heading into Tuesday's action. And on Tuesday, all 3 teams are in action. The Flames are at home to the Golden Knights, and we don't know what that game's going to mean to the Golden Knights. They've already clinched the Pacific Division. Do they feel like they want to try to ramp up before the playoffs, or is it more important for them to rest guys? We'll have to wait and see. And then in the other 2 games, we'll be watching on the Alberta Ford Dealers out-of-town scoreboard. The Blues are home to a dangerous Utah hockey club, and the Wild are home to a dastardly Ducks squad. So they're going to need some help, Pat, but the Flames have to help themselves first. We'll see if they can do that with a victory over the Sharks on this Sunday night.
All right, Wilsey, thank you very much. It's the Flames and Sharks, and we are just over 20 minutes away from puck drop here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. As we take a closer look at tonight's goaltending matchup, it's time to go between the pipes, brought to you by Alpine Credits. It will indeed be Dustin Wolf making his 7th consecutive start in net tonight. Wolf, 27-16-8 this season with a 2.63 goals against average and a 909 save percentage. It'll be Georgi Romanov in net for the San Jose Sharks. Romanov 0-5-0 this year with a 3.86 goals against average and an 879 save percentage. It's Wolf for Calgary, Romanov for San Jose, and that's your look between the pipes, brought to you by Alpine Credits. Own your home? Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits, homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. Pat Steinberg and Logan Gordon along with you, moving towards another must-win game for the Flames logo. It feels like there's been 10, 11, 12 consecutive biggest games of the year, and here's another one at the Dome this evening. But against this Sharks team, and knowing they cannot lose in regulation, they got to be a desperate hockey team tonight, don't they?
They sure do. They have to leave it all out there, and I know that that's tough to do when you know that you possibly might need to do that 2 more times down the stretch heading into next week, but that has to be the mentality. They've done a great job of it so far, and I think they deserve credit, Pat, for being here at Game 80 and having something to play for. I really do believe that. This thing could have been done a week or 2 ago, depending on how some of the results have gone for the Calgary Flames, and we know about that massive winning streak of the St. Louis Blues. Like, that could have been the end of it. They haven't let it be the end of it, and for them, it feels like they're going to do everything within their power to make sure that as long as they've got a chance, they're bringing their best. And it's been an admirable quality. It's one I would expect to continue tonight, but the parameters shrink every single day we get closer to Game 82 coming up against the Kings this week. The light becomes a little bit more clear as to what you're going to need, and sometimes that's easy, sometimes that's hard. But for the Flames, 2 points, focus on that, and hopefully get you to your next must-win game.
Enjoy and rest that voice, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Logan Gordon, Pat Steinberg, this is your Flames warm-up pregame show. Stay with us during tonight's postgame show for the save of the game, brought to you by Shane Holmes. For every save a Flames goaltender makes, Shane Holmes donates $5 to Kids Sport Calgary. Visit ShaneHolmes.com, the better way to build. Time now for some Flames strategy, and goaltender Dustin Wolf is having a Calder Trophy-worthy season. The rookie's 27-16-8 with a 909 save percentage. And Flame Strategy is brought to you by Spruce It Up Garden Center. Spruce up your indoor and outdoor space this spring. Visit Calgary's largest full-service garden center. Spruce it up, green it up, prune it up. They've got you covered. And now with some Flame Strategy, here's the voice of the Flames, Derek Wills.
Joined by Flames goaltender Dustin Wolf, and it's hard to believe 79 games down and just 3 regular season games to go. How do you feel going through this grind for the first time as an NHLer?
Oh, it feels good. the body's starting to feel a little bit tired, but at the same time, this is the best time of year, so there's no excuses. We're battling for a spot, and we have a good shot, and obviously we're hoping for some good help along the way from outside sources, but in the meantime, we're trying to control our own destiny here.
For me, this season has felt like a roller coaster ride. Has it felt that way for you?
It's just an adventure, right? Every year is different, and obviously a really good start. We've had stretches in the year where we haven't been able to score goals and just haven't really come out with wins. But there's also been times where we've put good stretches together, and the last month and a half we've been rolling, and obviously we'd like a couple more points out of some games, but that's hockey for you, and we're just working on getting the next 6.
Even the last couple of games for me, you think about the low of a 4-3 overtime loss to the Ducks in Anaheim on Wednesday, where you guys had a 2-goal lead in the final 4 minutes and let it slip through your fingers and got 1 point instead of 2, and then the high of winning the biggest game of the season and playing a great game against the Wild here on Friday night. What's this week been like for you?
That's hockey to see right there. Is it's unpredictable. There's going to be swings in games, in stretches where you're going to be super happy with, and vice versa. But obviously we didn't want to let that one in Anaheim slip. It was unfortunate. But we came back with probably the best effort of the year in our do or die game, and that was a massive 4-point swing the other night, and obviously we want to work to keep putting ourselves in a good position for the last 3 games here.
Generally speaking, you have to adjust your game going from college to pro or junior to pro. What have you had to adjust going from the WHL to the AHL and now to the NHL?
I think one thing is just comfort level. Getting my feet wet early, playing a lot of games, and getting comfortable with my D-man back there. Kind of a good idea of what they want me to do, and how I can help them to the best of my ability, and then just the small details. Trying to figure out where I can play in my crease where I feel comfortable and it's effective for myself. So there's always going to be learning curves along the way, and this time of year is the best opportunity for that. You're going to make mistakes. You want to try to limit them, but you can always learn from them, and I think that's the best part. Is the time of year where you want to play as many as you can.
You're the first rookie goaltender in Flames franchise history to record 3 shouts in a season. On Friday night, you actually moved into a tie with Mike Vernon, 51 starts, the most by a Flames rookie goaltender in franchise history. Do things like that register with you?
It's cool. You scroll through social media, and you see stuff being posted, and beforehand you don't really think too much about it, and you try not to think about it right now, especially in the stretch we're in. But certainly looking back, it'll be pretty neat, and obviously at the end of the day, I want to help my team win games, and obviously they feel comfortable with me in the net, and I just want to do my job to the best of my ability, and hopefully we get in.
You've clearly been the best rookie goaltender in the NHL this season, and in my opinion at least, you've been one of the best rookies in the league this season. Do you hear that Calder Trophy noise, and is it fun to be a part of that conversation?
Sure. It's hard to not hear it, right? It's everyone's on social media, everybody's talking, and right now it's not something I'm putting a lot of emphasis on at all, but again, the last 2-3 months have been, we're trying to get into the playoffs, and we've been battling, and it's been up and down, and this is kind of the best opportunity we've had in a while. So we'll see once the season ends and where things go, but in the meantime we focus on the next one here.
Well, in my opinion, the fact that you're in the Calder Trophy conversation is one of the biggest reasons why the Flames are still in the fight for a Stanley Cup playoff spot, and you got a big game coming up tonight against your hometown team, the Sharks. And they've been a tough out for you guys. You guys have won all 3 games versus them this season, but they've all been close contests. What's going to be important in this one tonight as you guys try to inch a little bit closer to a playoff spot?
Yeah, we need to replicate our game against Minnesota, against the Sharks tonight, and they've got lots of skill up front, and obviously you saw the other night when they played Minnesota, it was an 8-7 game, so they've got offense, and we need to limit their opportunities off the rush, and that's where they strive. They create chances off the rush, and we need to make sure we get pucks below their goal line, work it, and obviously if we play the way we did the other night, I think we're going to be in pretty good hands.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Wolfie, thanks for doing this. Congratulations on a great season so far, and all the best to you and the guys as you try to extend it past April 17th.
Yeah, thanks, Dirk.
That is Dustin Wolf, and that is a little Flame strategy tonight, brought to you by Spruce It Up Garden Center. As we're just over 10 minutes away from puck drop here at the Dome, it's the Flames and the San Jose Sharks on a Sunday night. My name is Pat Steinberg on your Flames warm-up pregame show. Our final stop before we set the scene for you is our out-of-town scoreboard tonight, brought to you by your Alberta Ford dealers. Lease a 2025 F-150 STX with the black appearance package during the Ford It's a Big Deal event. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca today. Okay. Here's what's happening on the NHL ice right now. They are after 40 minutes of play in Tampa Bay, with the Lightning leading Buffalo 5-2, while Columbus has a 2-1 lead on Washington. That game after 40 minutes of play as well. Interesting game in Winnipeg. Oilers and Jets are scoreless after 20 minutes. Final scores from earlier. Overtime winner off the stick of Tim Stützle helps the Ottawa Senators to a 4-3 win over the Philadelphia Flyers in OT. Islanders blank the Devils 1-0. Bruins get by the Penguins 4-1, and the Maple Leafs move another step closer to winning that Atlantic Division. They beat the Hurricanes today by a 4-1 score. One more game still to come tonight. Anaheim is at home to Colorado, and that game gets going just after 8 o'clock this evening. The 2025 Masters is done, and your 2025 Masters champion is Rory McIlroy after bogeying on 18 to force a playoff. He had the lead going into 18, a one-stroke lead going into the final hole, and bogeyed, which forced a playoff between Rory and Justin Rose. Rose pars the 18th, which was the first playoff hole, and McIlroy birdies to win the 2025 Masters in a playoff. Blue Jays up to 9-7 with a 7-6 road win in 10 innings on the road in Baltimore. That's your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by your Alberta Ford dealer as well. For the Flames, the stakes are clear. They've got to go at minimum 2-0-1 down the stretch, and they cannot lose again in regulation this season. Plus, they need help. But the first thing they can do is win tonight against the San Jose Sharks. See if they can do that in just minutes' time. That'll start to wrap us up on our Flames warm-up pregame show. Derek Wills standing by. He'll set the scene for you around the corner for the fourth and final time this season. It's the Flames. It's the Sharks. It's a little Sunday night action, and it's coming your way next. This is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960 The Fan.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Country Hills Toyota and Green Drop. Sportsnet 960 The Fan.
When you're building a legacy that lasts, you need power that proves itself every day. That's why members like Craig Hahn from Eagle Builders choose Equus.
Since starting to deal with Equus in 2016, they've given us no reason to look elsewhere for another power provider. They've never fallen short, and that makes it easy to do business with Equus.
Competitive rates, reliable service, and a commitment to your success. Choose community. Choose Equus. Become a member today at equs.ca.
Hey there, it's Brent Walker, and I'm very excited to announce we just opened Canada's largest signature Ford dealership, Country Hills Ford. Be our guest and experience our premier service with 43 service bays, express lane oil changes, or enjoy a bite at our Bronco Bistro. Take a walk through our massive showroom and indoor delivery area. Check us out online at countryhillsford.com and only minutes to the Calgary airport.
What are you waiting for? Experience the all-new Country Hills Ford today. See the featured inventory online at countryhillsford.com.
Shane Homes duplexes blend a single-family home lifestyle with the affordability of a shared wall.
They passed the Yell test.
Built for peace and quiet, you'll never know your neighbor cheers for the rival team. Shane Homes, keeping peace between neighbors all hockey season long. With 5 communities to choose from throughout Calgary, Airdrie, and Chestermere, your new home is waiting to be built. Learn more at shanehomes.com. Shane Homes, the better way to build.
This is CFAC, Sportsnet 960 The Fan, broadcasting from the Groundwork Studio in downtown Calgary, the official home of the Calgary Flames, a Rogers Sports and Media radio station.
Are you ready?
Get loud, Flames fans. It's almost time to drop the puck. Let's head up to the broadcast booth with Derek Wills and Megan Mickelson, setting the stage for this matchup. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Live from the Sea of Red, Scotiabank Saddledome, Calgary Flames hockey is on the air tonight. Dustin Wolf and the 38-27-14 Calgary Flames can keep their Stanley Cup playoff hopes alive by sweeping their 4-game season series versus last summer's first overall pick, Macklin Celebrini, and the 2048-11 San Jose Sharks. In the Peter Maher Radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota, I'm Derek Wills alongside Pat Steinberg, who is in for Megan Mickelson on Sportsnet 960 The Fan, on sportsnet.ca/960, on the Sportsnet and NHL apps, and on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. But going into Friday's game between the Flames and the Wild, Pat, we called it the biggest game of the season for both sides. One team played like it, one team didn't, and the team that did won by a final score of 4-2, and that was probably a flattering final score for the team that didn't. Your thoughts on what was a very impressive 2-goal victory for the Flames a couple of nights ago?
Yeah, unfortunately, the team that didn't that night did the next night in Vancouver, but the Flames did, and what I liked about Friday night's effort was what we saw from them, commitment to details-wise from puck drop. They were energized, they played with intensity, they didn't allow anything, they won puck battles, and they were putting shots towards the net, they were getting to the inside. Like it was a to-the-T blueprint night for the Flames. Shot volume, keeping the opposition to the outside, physical, engaged, and that's what they're going to have to do again for the next 3 games. We know what the stakes are. That was a blueprint game for the Flames. They've had a few of those games here over the last month or so, and they're going to need probably 2 or 3 of them before the season's out if they want to keep playing past Thursday.
And they're going to need some help on the Alberta Ford Dealers out-of-town scoreboard. And the truth is, they haven't had a lot of help out of town, and it looked like they might get some last night, Pat. The Canucks led the Wild 2-0 through 2, and the Wild battled back to win that game in overtime. And the Blues were behind the Kraken 1-0 to start the third period. They battled back and didn't pick up 2 points, but did get an important one. So the Flames, 5 points out of the first wild card spot and 4 points out of the second wild card spot. Pat, all they can do is win tonight, and then that would set up what would be a huge slate of games on Tuesday night.
Yeah, where it could very well decide things, and we know now that if the Flames are going to make it, they're going to have to go all the way to Game 82 to do so. The most important thing, though, is taking care of their own business, and don't do what happened 2 years ago, where the Flames were in a very similar spot, and they won a very similar game in Game 79. They went into Winnipeg and beat the team they were chasing in regulation and moved into a tie with them with one more game played. They then dropped their next 2 games to non-playoff teams in a shootout. Don't let that happen again. You won the biggest game of the season in Game 79, but you got to have a similar effort, even though it's the 32nd ranked Sharks you're playing tonight in Game 80.
Mathematically, the Flames need a point to stay alive. Realistically, they need 2 points to stay in the fight for a Stanley Cup playoff spot. You do not want your season to, for all intents and purposes, come to an end because you lost to a team that sits last overall for a second straight season. But Pat, with that said, the Flames cannot take this Sharks team lightly. They scored 7 in a loss to the Wild last Wednesday night. And yes, the Flames lead the season series 3-0, but the Sharks have been competitive in all 3 of those games. 1-3-1 and 3-2 victories for the Flames. What is it that scares you about this Shark squad?
Well, it's number one, Macklin Celebrini, who seems like he's hit a new level here in the last little bit, whether it's been games against the Oilers, the Flames 6 nights ago, or what we saw Wednesday from Celebrini against the Minnesota Wild. He has hit a new level as he tries to track down the Calder Trophy. And those top 6, Toffoli's playing tonight. He didn't play Sunday. They've got a decently dangerous top 6, and so if you let them get behind you, they've got guys that can finish.
They've got a goaltender who has never won a game in the National Hockey League. Don't let tonight be the night for Georgi Romanov. When we come back, we will get this game going as we return to the Peter Maher Radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota, to bring you the starting lineups and the Eastside Dodge opening face-off. It's some Sunday night hockey. It's the Flames versus the Sharks. Puck drop is next, and this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Glenmore Audi and Equus. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
All right, give me something big.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on.
Bigger.
Get a big truck and an even bigger deal.
Love it. Now the details.
Right now, lease a 2025 F-150 STX with the Black Appearance Package from $220 bi-weekly at 0% APR for 24 months with $43.75 down. That's like $110 weekly.
Now bring it home.
Plus, there's a $750 bonus for eligible Ford owners. Hurry into your Alberta Ford store or visit Ford.ca today.
Would you prevent a disaster if you saw it coming? Of course you would. So what if you knew you were at risk of a heart attack or stroke? I'm George Russick here for HeartFit Clinic. I was shocked when I learned that medical stress tests can miss heart disease and that 83% of people with heart disease have normal cholesterol levels. The experts at HeartFit Clinic have the most accurate screening tests and proven treatments to detect, prevent, and even reverse heart disease. No doctor's referral needed. Take charge and learn what your risk factors are. Book a free consultation today at heartfit.ca.
It's game time. You're listening to Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Welcome back to the Peter Maher Radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota. High above the ice here at Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary. We're getting set for what mathematically isn't a must-win game, but is a can't-lose game, and realistically is a must-win game for the Flames. We're at 5 points out of the first wild card spot and 4 points out of the second wild card spot in the Western Conference. They're still alive in their fight for a Stanley Cup playoff spot, but they need 2 points versus the San Jose Sharks. Let's introduce you to tonight's starting lineups. We'll begin with the starters for Ryan Huska's Flames. At forward, it is Nazem Kadri between Jonathan Huberdeau and Adam Klapka. On defense, Kevin Ball's paired up with Rasmus Andersson. And in goal, it is Calder Trophy candidate Dustin Wolf. And starting for Ryan Warsofsky's Sharks up front, Alex Wenberg's between William Eklund and Tyler Toffoli. On the back end, Henry Thrun's paired up with Timothy Liljegren, and in net, it is Georgi Romanov. Puck was just dropped, and we are underway with the first period of play here at the Saddledome. Flames with their home red jerseys on with yellow and white trim are moving from right to left on your radios. The Sharks with their road white jerseys on with teal and black trim from left to right. And a whistle just 6 seconds into the hockey game, which means that on that icing call, we've got a face-off coming up to Dustin Wolf's right. Tonight's opening face-off was brought to you by Eastside Dodge. Hurry into Eastside Dodge or visit eastsidedodge.com to check out this month's incredible specials and tell them Lanny sent you. The officials for this hockey game, the referees are Wes McCauley and Carter Sandlack, the linesman Scott Cherry and Travis Toomey. Starts with the draw. Toffoli tries a shot, but it gets knocked down and picked up by Klapka. He skates the puck across center, flips it into the near corner, and goes flying in there with a forecheck. Liljegren beats him to it, gives it to Thrun. He moves it up the far boards, and the puck's cleared out by Wenberg. And now speeding in, here comes Eklund. William Eklund catches up to the puck in the near corner, protects it from Huberdeau, and drops it right point. Liljegren across the line. There's a shot off the stick of Thrun that misses the net. Puck back to the blue line. Liljegren, a shot off a stick, and it goes wide to the far corner. Toffoli will leave it down low. Eklund slides it near corner to Alex Wenberg, who gives it back to Eklund, who tries a wraparound. Puck's off his stick. Thrun winds and fires, and that shot gets blocked by Klapka, and the puck ends up in outer space.
Well, that is not the start the Flames were looking for. An icing off the opening face-off, a couple battles won in the Shark zone by San Jose, and then a good O-zone shift. And that's one of the two top six lines that the Sharks can really do damage with Toffoli on the one side, Eklund and Wenberg. They've had themselves a nice year playing together, and now Backlund's going out against the Celebrini line.
Tyler Toffoli's had an excellent season for the Sharks, Pat. He is one goal away from his third straight and fourth career 20-goal season. Here's a shot by Nikolai Kovalenko, stopped by Dustin Wolf, and another good shift for the Sharks, not so much for the Flames to get this game going.
So what we're seeing, what I think we're seeing early, and we're only at 63 seconds in, but a slightly tight Flames group. They know what's on the line now, and you got a Sharks team that is only here to play spoiler, and Ryan Warsofsky's group is trying to build more habits for next season, and they would like to snap this losing skid. So, yeah, don't love the start. Calgary might have to weather here.
Puck picked up and held in left point by Will Smith, who scored both of the Sharks' goals in their 3-2 loss to the Flames in San Jose last Monday. They'll get it in deep. Macklin Celebrini leaves it in behind the net. And now Kovalenko bounces it back to the right point to Jan Ruda. Slides it across the line. Here's Lucas Carlson with a shot tipped by Celebrini and stopped by Wolf. Now Ruda hit by Blake Coleman. Will get it in deep. Smith tries to center it in front, but his pass deflects right to Wolf, who will hold on for a face-off. Speaking of Dustin Wolf, making his 7th straight start tonight and his 52nd of the season, which is important because with it, he breaks Mike Vernon's franchise record for most starts in a season by a rookie goaltender. So congratulations to Dustin Wolf. It's been fantastic this season. The Calder Trophy candidate is 27-16-8 with 3 shutouts, 2.63 goals against average, and a .909 save percentage in 51 games. And he's been fantastic against his hometown team, 6-1-0 with a 2.13 goals against average and a .915 save percentage in 7 career games against the Sharks. As there's a shot by Zach Ostapchuk that's booted away, and now it bounces out in front. Lomberg will pick it up and clear it out. Ryan Lomberg has been pretty productive for the Flames of late, Pat. 2 goals and 4 points in his last 7 games.
This looks a lot like the start to Monday's game in San Jose, Wilsey.
It does, but we're early, and no damage has been done. The Sharks do have the first 5 shots, though. Flames looking for their first shot on goal as Kevin Rooney spins into the far corner and gives it to Joel Farabee, who was demoted to the 4th line on Friday night, and that's where he starts on this Sunday evening.
Which is interesting because I haven't minded Farabee's game. They're putting Pospisil on the line with Frost and Sharon Govich tonight, and Klapka staying with Huberdeau and Kadri.
Rasmus Andersson will rifle the puck in from the red line, but it's swept out by Liljegren. And now Barclay Goodrow moves it far side over to Noah Gregor. Backs it up into his own zone. Thrun to Liljegren off the stick of Goodrow, and now in behind Wolf's net. Anderson chasing after it, can't get there. Puck thrown towards the net, but it goes wide off the stick of Ty Dellandrea. Puck back to the blue line. Gregor with a shot, knocked down in front. And now Morgan Frost tries to flip a pass ahead to Martin Pospisil that's picked off, and puck is dumped back in by Goodrow. Sharks start to change as it's picked up left wing boards by Carlson, who leaves it behind for Toffoli, who steps in and shoots. Wolf with a pad save. Rebound Toffoli, scores! Former Flame Tyler Toffoli puts the puck by a down-and-out Dustin Wolf. He scores his 30th goal of the season, and on their 7th shot, the Sharks bite and take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, not a good start at all here for the Flames. Rasmus Andersson tried to clear the puck around the right side boards. It gets kept in. Toffoli comes in, rips a shot. Wolf, who's been under fire all night, makes the initial stop. We know how dangerous an outside shooter Toffoli is. He used all his power on that, picked up his own rebound, and goes roof on Wolf, who is down and out. Dustin Wolf has had to make 4 or 5 solid stops already. It's 8-0 shots in favor of San Jose, and they've got a 1-0 lead. Calgary's going to need to wake up. We know they can, but they're going to need to.
We'll see if that goal gets them going. Flames will dump the puck in. Jonathan Huberdeau chasing after it. Is beaten there by Ruda. It bounces it off to Foley and down the ice, and that'll be an icing call on the Sharks. Tyler Toffoli leads the team with his 30 goals. And you're right, the Sharks didn't have him last Monday night when they fell 3-2 to the Flames. They could have used him, but he gets them off to a great start in this game. Faceoff coming up to the right. Georgi Romanov. We'll tell you more about him in a moment. Wenberg wins that defensive zone draw. And now Carlson sliding up the left wing side. Cutting to the middle is Eklund. Here's the game's opening goal.
Foley, assist number 36. Lucas Carlson. And to number 9, Noah Gregor, time 3:09. Toffoli's third of the year from Carlson, and Gregor 3:09.
Kenzie Weegar boots the pocket of the Shark zone. Toffoli almost gave it away to Klopka, but bounces by him and Ruda. He'll slide it softly down the ice as both teams start the change. And as Wolf comes out to get it, clears it up the near boards, not out Smith. A shot tipped by Wenberg, stopped by Wolf, and it's still a shooting gallery for the Sharks. They've got the first 9 shots on goal in this game now. Kevin Ball plays it up the near boards. Matt Coronado's knocked down as it slides in behind the Sharks' net. Michael Backlund in there fighting for it. The captain has scored in back-to-back games. As Coronado comes up with the puck, he gets it to Backlund, who shoots and is stopped. Nice left pad save by Romanov, and Flames finally get their first shot, and it takes them more than 4 minutes, Pat.
That shot comes with a little bit of youth. Will Smith had all time in the world to try to make a good outlet pass. He tries to flip it out to a streaking Celebrini through the neutral zone, and it's easily knocked down by the Flames. They get their first shot. And Romanov was, I thought, really good against the Flames on Monday night in San Jose. One thing he was kind of susceptible to, kicking out some rebounds. That's how the Flames scored their 1-1 goal in that game.
Blake Coleman holds the puck in. He tries to give it to Backlund. The pass is picked off by Celebrini. Last summer's first overall pick plays it in, and now Weegar clears it out and down the ice, and that should be and will be an icing call with almost 5 minutes gone in the first period. San Jose out shooting Calgary 9-1. And on a goal by Tyler Toffoli, it's the Sharks 1 and the Flames nothing.
Just a little bit too tentative and too tight are the Flames right now, and their execution is just off. Like, things are just a little off. Even that pass from Weegar, we don't usually see McKenzie make a play like that where it goes 160 feet for icing. So I think the Flames will settle in here. Just want to make sure they're not settling in with too much of a deficit.
Vlasic with a shot, rebound to Grunstrom, and the puck deflects over top of Wolf's net. Another great chance for the Sharks. Here comes Joel Hanley to center. He'll dump the puck into the near corner. Blake Coleman, who's got 5 points in his last 5 games, is in there with a forecheck, as is Morgan Frost. And they can't come up with the puck, but it is held in fireboards by Martin Pospisil. He drops to Frost, who then lifts it right over the glass and into the seats. Pat, I thought the Flames looked fast, pretty much from start to finish in their 4-2 victory over the Wild on Friday night. To me, they've looked slow in the first 5 minutes against the Sharks tonight.
And part of that is face-offs, especially in the O-zone. Sharks have won 6 of the 9 face-offs here so far, and that's 2 more big stops by Dustin Wolf, including one on a tough rebound. Wolf is, again, just like he did on Monday in Northern California, is playing really well here.
An offside call against the Flames, as they are completely out of sync early in this hockey game.
Early, and we do know, and with no disrespect to another NHL team, you can play a good period sometimes and beat San Jose like what we saw on Monday, but if you're the Flames, you don't want to necessarily put yourself in that spot.
No, not with your season on the line. You got to play 3 good periods tonight. Still time to get things turned around. Loose puck in front. Pospisil shoots and is stopped by Romanov. Now Frost and Pospisil. Body check along the near boards on Thomas Bordeleau, as Frost digs the puck free and protects it, and now makes a short pass. Pospisil drops it. Jake Bean shoots and is stopped by Romanov. Mark-Edward Vlasic will grab it and give it to Zach Ostapchuk, who drops it, and the puck gets cleared out by Jack Thompson. Chasing after it, catching up to it in the near corner is Carl Grunstrom. He spins and tries to drop, but his pass is broken up by Farabee, and now Carlson will take over and move it ahead to Dellandrea. Bahal cuts him off, and now Ball gets back for the Flames, and it's all tangled up with Dellandrea in the near corner as Rooney gets taken down from behind by Goodrow, and still got a 4-man fight for the puck. As Ball just ragdolls Dellandrea. Puck was squirting behind the Flames net to Bahal, who chops it up the far side to Lomberg, and he'll lift it up and out. Flames with a physical shift. Maybe that can get things turned for them. Here's Dellandrea with a quick shot. Maybe not. And Wolf has to make his 12th save of the hockey game. We'll take a break. I think the Flames could use one. 13:44 to play in the first period here at Scotiabank Saddledome. Mathematically, the Flames need a point. Realistically, they need 2, and they're not off to a good start. The Sharks on a goal by Tyler Toffoli have a 1-0 lead. And this is Calgary Flames Hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames Hockey. Brought to you by Eastside Dodge and Shane Holmes. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Big news, Calgary. The wait is over. Canada's newest Chevrolet Buick GMC dealership is now open. Find Wolf Calgary at 756 101st Street Southwest, just off Stony Trail and Old Banff Coach Road. Experience Canada's newest Chevy Buick GMC dealership with over 40 service bays, plus standalone Cadillac dealership with concierge service. Be among the first to explore Wolf Calgary's state-of-the-art showrooms. Visit them in person or online at wolfcadillacCalgary.com.
The sounds of summer. Going camping. Hanging out at the lake. And you getting your sticky butt off that couch. Visit Canyon Plumbing and Heating to find the right Goodman air conditioner for your home before summer hits. Because, oh man, you're gonna need it. Visit their 8,000 square foot showroom at 114 Ave Southeast.
You're listening to Calgary Flames Hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
You've got about an hour, just over an hour. Get your tickets for the Flames Foundation 50-50 before 7:30 tonight for your chance to win half the jackpot and one of 2 early bird prizes. Tickets $5 each. You can purchase the Aginla special with 12 for $12 or the Conroy special with 100 tickets for $24 for your chance to win big and to support the life-changing work being done in our community by the Flames Foundation. Purchase your tickets at 5050flames.com.
Been some big jackpots lately, Pat. And tonight's is already up to almost 50 grand. Puck lifted up in the air and out by Ball, but knocked down, and now flipped right back in by Gregor. Anderson will take over behind Wolf's net, whip it up the far boards. Lomberg makes a nice pass ahead to Rooney, scurries across the red line and slides the right wing boards to Farabee, who stops, protects the puck, spins, and now slides it in behind the Sharks net. Rooney gets twisted off the puck there, and Thompson gets away with one as Anderson will hold it in and shoot it wide of Romanov's net. Literal will grab it and throw it out to center ice. Anderson will take over at the Flames blue line as both teams start to change. And as we approach the 7-minute mark of the first period here at the Saddle Dome, where San Jose is out shooting Calgary 12-2, and it's the Sharks 1 and the Flames nothing. Flames get the puck in deep. Klapka will slide it up the near side. Kadri knocks it in behind the net. Klapka after it in the far corner, using that big frame to protect the puck. Will leave it down low for Kadri. Nazem Kadri leads the team in goals and in points. Will drop to Hanley, who shoots high and wide of the Sharks net. And now it's picked up and one-handed out by Wenberg. Nazem Kadri scoring his 32nd goal of the season in the Flames' 4-2 victory over the Wild on Friday, which equals his career high. Pretty impressive for a 34-year-old.
Yep, he's having a heck of a year, Wilsey.
Huberdeau with a shot, rips it right over top of the Sharks net. Huberdeau after his own rebound, but it's instead picked up by Celebrini. Across the red line and protect the puck from Klapka. Celebrini centers. Toffoli shoots once and then twice, but that second shot gets blocked by Ball, and the Flames will clear it down the ice.
What a pass from Celebrini to find Toffoli with no space.
Now Thrun will move it up the middle of the ice to Celebrini, who crosses the red line and works it left wing side. Over to Kovalenko, gives it back to Celebrini, who centers, but his pass is broken up smartly by Wolf. As paddle of the goal stick of the puck, and here comes Backlund the other way. He drops to Coleman, who shoots, and Romanov makes a good glove save.
Nice play by Coleman. Get a shot on net. Test the goalie. Yes, it was off the flank, so not the most dangerous, but it does force an offensive zone face-off. Boy, is Celebrini something to watch. Like the small area plays he's capable of making, and the pinpoint accuracy that he's got in small spaces. We saw 3 or 4 instances on that shift, and the Backlund line's going to have their hands full with Celebrini all night long.
Got a face-off coming up to Romanov's right. Cross will take it. Actually, no, he won't. He gets thrown out, so Sharon Govich steps in there to take the draw against Sapchuk. Igor Sharangovich playing some of his best hockey of the season. He's scored in back-to-back games, and he's got 4 points in his last 5 games. Better late than never, right, Pat?
Yeah, and it's good timing for him playing his best hockey of the year.
Big body check by Jake Bean on Thomas Bordelot, as Bean will bounce it off the stick of Pospisil and deep into the Shark zone. Back to get it. is Carlson, who can't clear it. Frost fighting forward in behind the Sharks net. Will come up with the puck in the far corner and leave it there where Bortolo takes over, and he'll give it to Ruda, and Ruda will bounce it off the stick of Stapchuk and out to center ice. Ball chips it back into his own zone, and Anderson will grab it as both teams start to change. Here's ball, right wing side to Anderson. Anderson will give the puck to Kadri, crosses the Sharks' blue line. Kadri holds it and now shoots it off a skate that deflects wide to the far boards. Trying to get it is Will Smith. He gives it away. Anderson winds and fires and is stopped by Romanov. Here's Huberdeau, left point to Hanley. Hanley, a shot just wide of the Sharks' net. Romanov's all over the place. We'll see if the Flames can take advantage of that. Puck held in right point. Huberdeau gives it to Klapka. He drops it to Weegar. Weegar shoots and scores! Mackenzie Weegar with an 89-mile-an-hour slap shot in the top corner of the Sharks' net, and the Flames tie the game at 1.
Top line gets the job done for the Flames, and a couple of bad giveaways. One of them by Will Smith. He's had a couple tonight that have led to sustained ozone possession, and then the second one comes off the stick of Nikolai Kovalenko, and twice the Sharks had an opportunity to cleanly get out. Twice they failed, and on the second opportunity, Mackenzie Weegar walks in and takes an extra second just to put himself into that much more of a dangerous shooting position and rips it home for Mackenzie. He's up to 8 goals on the season.
Here scored by number 52, Mackenzie Weegar. To number 43, Adam Klapka. And to number 10, Jonathan Huberdeau. Top of the goal, 9:24.
Big goal for Mackenzie Weegar, his first in 18 games dating back to March the 4th. And a big one for the Flames, who get back to even in this game and tie it at 1. Calgary being outshot by San Jose 13-4, Pat, and they're lucky to be tied at 1 tonight.
Yep, and Dustin Wolf, much like what we saw on Monday in San Jose, a big reason why the Flames have been able to only be down by 1 for a good chunk of this game. Quick note from Adam Klapka, he picks up the primary assist, 3 career games against the San Jose Sharks, now 3 career points for Adam Klapka.
Faceoff coming up to Wolf's left. Backlund will take it versus Delandria. Backlund wins it. Back to Bean. Bean will snap the puck out to center off the stick of Coleman and into the Shark zone. Maybe Coleman didn't touch it. That'll be an icing call. Told you about Dustin Wolf, the guy at the other end of the ice tonight. Dustin Wolf needs no introduction. This guy probably does. Georgi Romanov. He's undrafted and in his second season in North America. And he's split this season between the AHL and the NHL, going 11-6-5 with no shutouts, 3.10 goals against average, and a .905 save percentage in 21 games with the San Jose Barracuda. In the meantime, 0-5-0 with no shutouts, a 3.86 goals against average, and an .879 save percentage in 7 games with the San Jose Sharks. And Pat, he is winless in 9 career NHL games, and Flames don't want tonight to be the night for Romanov.
He's got some talent, though.
He does. He's quite athletic. But big hit here as Kevin Rooney takes a questionable shot from Noah Gregor, and Ryan Lomberg is whispering in his ear. Here's Thompson off the end boards into the far corner to Mark-Edward Vlasic in his 19th NHL season as Rooney collides with Thompson out at center. Rooney with some words for Thompson. It's not even the guy who hit him, but I think he's just mad at anybody wearing white, teal, and black right now.
I do think we got a penalty call coming here. I think we got a too many men on the ice call for San Jose as they were exiting the zone. I think that they had one too many men, and because they had that extra man on, gave them a little bit of a advantage as they were trying to break through the neutral zone.
So the Flames, who have scored some timely power play goals this season, appear to be headed to a Holmes by Abbey power play when we come back. 9:15 to play in the opening period of what, for all intents and purposes, is a do-or-die game for the Flames. They did not get off to a good start. Sharks On a goal by Tyler Toffoli, had a 1-0 lead, but the Flames get that one back on a big blast by Mackenzie Weegar. Calgary and San Jose are now even at 1. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
Hey, it's Brent Cron, and I'm back all season long with George and Matt on The Big Show after every Flames game. Enjoy the game, and I'll talk to you 8 a.m. Monday.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Alberta Ford Dealers and Shane Holmes. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
When you choose Motorworks, you know you're getting the best service for your BMW. But did you know they also work on minis in their state-of-the-art facility? Always meeting or beating competitors' quotes. Motorworks, exceeding all expectations. On 51st Ave and 3rd Street Southeast.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She heard about Alpine Credits, who sent over their speediest superhero. And Dash was approved for a business loan to fix her ovens. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Choose Motorworks for your BMW and Mini. With their state-of-the-art facility, they offer the latest tools and software, plus they meet or beat all competitors' quotes by 15%. Motorworks, exceeding all expectations. On 51st Ave and 3rd Street Southeast.
You're listening to Calgary Flames hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Former Flame Tyler Toffoli has scored for the Sharks, current Flame, and the winner of the 2024-2025 Peter Marr Good Guy Award, Mackenzie Weegar, has scored for the Flames, and we're tied at 1 as Flames head to a Homes by Abbey power play with a chance to take the lead. Here comes Frost across the Sharks line. Gonna drop right wing boards to Kadri, who flips it back to the blue line to Weegar. Weegar, stick handling, slides it near side to Huberdeau. Walks in and gives it to Coronado. Coronado, back to Huberdeau. Backs it up to the blue line. Weegar, into the far circle. Kadri is shot, and it's booted away by Romanov. Huberdeau will take over and behind the Sharks net and slide it up the far side to Kadri. Plays the puck right point to Weegar. Weegar backs up along the blue line and returns it to Kadri. Kadri, stick handling far half boards, steps towards the net. Then backs off. Kadri goes down low to Huberdeau. He centers it, looking for Coronado in front, but it bounces by him and back to the blue line to Weegar, left point. Weegar drops to Coronado, who goes far side. Kadri, a one-timer, and he misses Romanov's net. Coronado hustles back to the blue line to hold it in. He gives it to Frost, drops it to Weegar. Weegar, top of the near circle to Frost, and now back to Weegar. Weegar, far half boards to Kadri. Kadri will saucer it behind the net to Coronado. He centers it, Frost shoots it, and it goes wide of the Sharks net. The puck will ricochet off the inboards and go all the way down the ice.
First power play of the night for the Flames. They're moving it nicely, and they're making quick decisions, making it a little bit more difficult for San Jose's killers to get set.
On the power play this season, the Flames at 20.7%. That is 20th in the NHL. On the penalty kill, the Sharks at 73.3%, 29th in the league, ahead of only the Wild, Islanders, and Red Wings. And they've been brutal of late. But not a bad kill here as the puck gets sailed down the ice by Ruda. Wolf, who's tied for the league lead in assists by goaltenders, makes a long pass ahead, and here comes Backlund across the Sharks' blue line. Captain will flip it into the far corner and go after it. Knocks it in behind the net and up the near side to Farabee. Slides it down low to Backlund. Backlund looking for a goal in a third straight game. Will leave it behind for Farabee. Slides it up the far boards to Weegar. Sharks penalty is over. The Flames are still buzzing though, trying to take a 2-1 lead here. Weegar has got the game-tying goal. Slides it far side to Backlund, who shoots off a skate and it deflects wide of Romanov's net. Puck will come out. And the 4th overall pick in 2023, Will Smith will pick it up and will dump it in. Will Smith's been red hot, Pat. He comes in with a career-long 4-game goal streak.
He is an extremely dangerous offensive player.
Romanov off his net. It's bumped by Rooney, but gets rid of the puck. And now Kovalenko will drop it. Thompson will slide it up the left wing side to Celebrini, who sails it in from center. Ball back to get it. Battling with Kovalenko in the corner as Rooney swoops in to pick up the puck. Rooney will give it to Lomberg, who from the red line backhands it in, and Pospisil will chase it. Pospisil, Oliver Vlasic. And now a turnover. Lomberg is shot, but it deflects over the net and over the glass and into the netting with now 6:09 to play in the opening period. Coming to you from the Peter Marr Radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota. The Get In and Go event is on now at South Point Toyota. For the best inventory and the best interest rates of the year as low as 0%, visit my friends under the tower at South Point Toyota.
Solid night for Dustin Wolf so far. He's been a little bit less busy of late, but 13 saves already. Following tonight's game, stay tuned for the Shane Holmes save of the game. For every save a Flames goalie makes, Shane Holmes donates $5 to Kids Sport Calgary. For details, visit shaneholmes.com. Shane Holmes, the better way to build.
Yeah, Dustin Wolf has been the best player on the ice, in my opinion, tonight. Shots on goal are 14 for the Sharks and 4 for the Flames. But Wolf has stopped 13 of 14. Romanov only 3 of 4. And we've got a 1-1 hockey game. Puck is flipped into the Flame zone. Goodrow chasing after it. Is beaten there by Bean. Backhands it up the far boards to Huberdeau. Makes a quick pass to Kadri. Kadri crosses the red line. And now the Sharks' blue line. And gets by Thrun. Kadri glides in and centers. Klapka scores! What a play by Nazem Kadri to set up Adam Klapka for a tap-in, and the Flames take a 2-1 lead.
Something about playing the Sharks looks good on Adam Klapka. First of all, Nazem Kadri gets a step on Henry Thrun. Thrun tries to rub him out on the boards. Kadri had none of that. Liljegren is already out of the play, so it set up a down low 2-on-1. Because Thrun went for such an aggressive play, all Kadri had to do was find Klapka. That was Delandria's man, and Klapka all alone on the left side of Romanov's net. Now 3 goals in 3 career games for Adam Klapka versus the Sharks. 4 points in 3 career games. He's got a goal and an assist as the Flames have certainly mitigated damage, now leading 2-1.
Klapka! Pass to number 91, Nazem Kadri. And to number 10, Jonathan Huberdeau. Time of the goal, 14-15.
And the Flames, despite being outshot 14-5, have a 2-1 lead. Strange sport, Pat.
Can happen when you're playing the 32nd overall team, right?
It can. Flames also don't want this to turn into an 8-7 type of game like the one the Sharks played versus the Wild last Wednesday. Bean will take over in the far corner and lift it off the glass and out. Yegor Sharangovich, who scored in back-to-back games, will pick the puck up and dump it right in on Romanov. And Flames and Sharks will both change with now less than 5 minutes to play in the first period. And Calgary leading San Jose 2-1. Ball will bank it off the boards out to center ahead to Coronado. Coronado has been playing some great hockey and comes into the 4-game point streak, which equals the longest of his career. Gets the puck in deep and goes after it. Bowman will pick it up in the far corner. He gets it knocked off the puck by Vlasic. The Coronado recovers it and gets shoved off the puck by Celebrini. And now Backlund's after it in the near corner for the Flames. Puck gets stuck in Thompson's skates. Pullman digs it free and rims it around up the far boards. Anderson half-heartedly went in there with the forecheck, and now he gets stuck in deep as Vlasic gives it away to Anderson, who centers it. Coronado shoots and just misses Romanov's net. Looked like he got a little handcuff trying to take that shot. Sharks will dump it down the ice. Wolf will work it up the far boards to Anderson. Slides it ahead to Rooney. Rooney will cross the red line, and now the Sharks' blue line. Rooney stops and waits for some reinforcements off the Flames bench and gives it to Lomberg, who pushes the puck into the far corner to Farabee. He centers it, looking for Rooney in front. The pass is broken up by Liljegren. To the right point, here's Weegar. Across to Hanley. Hanley, a shot tipped wide by Lomberg, and now picked up in the far corner by Rooney. They'll leave it in beyond the Sharks' net. Farabee gets all tangled up with Thrun as puck skirt up the near boards, but not out. Lomberg will get it in deep again. Farabee overskates it, and now Thrun bounce it up the far boards ahead to Toffoli. We're open scoring tonight. Toffoli, left wing side, and over to Ekman, who knocks it into the near corner, but Wenberg can't get there. And now Lomberg will skip it down the ice, but that'll be an icing call on the Flames with 3:16 to play in the opening period. And Calgary out in front of San Jose 2-1, despite the fact that they're being outshot 14-6.
Have gotten to their game a little bit more, and one of the things that a team like San Jose is susceptible to is as you pressure them in the defensive zone, you can force them to make some mistakes, and we're starting to see that a little bit more with some of the younger defenders on this Sharks team and even some of their young forwards. Pressure them, and you can make them make some mistakes.
Big shot by Smith is fought off by Wolf, and Flames will softly slide it down the ice and start the change. Carlson will take over and beyond the Sharks' net. Lucas Carlson's been around. He's played for 8 teams in 7 seasons in North America. Moves it far quarter to Celebrini, who bounces it back to the blue line to Carlson, who gives it to Smith and now gets it back. Carlson returns it to Smith, who tries to play it to Kovalenko. Kovalenko does grab it and leave it for Celebrini. Celebrini shoots. That shot's blocked by Anderson, and he comes up limping again. Rasmus Anderson came into this game 3rd in the NHL in block shots with 192, and that one stung him. Huberdeau's in there with a forecheck. He overskates the puck. Klapka with his mile-long stick can't get a hold of it. Here comes Smith the other way. Smith 1-on-4, tries to dangle in, but ball whacks the puck away from him. Now Klapka blindly throws it down the ice, and that'll be an icing call on the Flames with 2:16 to play in the first period. Lead the Sharks 2-1. The Flames have had a power play. They couldn't capitalize on it, though. Their power play is built by Homes by Avi. Looking for a quickie? Homes by Avi has quick possession homes to get you moving fast. Visit homesbyavi.com today.
Icing off of just a kind of needless error from Adam Klapka as he continues to move more towards being a full-time NHLer. Those are some of the things that he'll start to learn not to do. He made a mistake, of course, on Friday night against Minnesota with that blue line giveaway that led to the Trennan goal.
He's starting to produce offensively, though, Pat, which is
for sure he is
something we saw from him at the AHL level. Adam Klapka has 48 career goals, second most, and 97 career points, tied for most in Calgary Wranglers franchise history. Puck brought in by Wenberg, who splits the D. Wenberg drops it, but that pass is picked off by Coleman, who fires the puck out to center. Close call there.
Too many of those close calls. I know the Flames are up 2-1. Too many close calls here so far tonight.
Well, this game's far from over. We know the Sharks can score. Comes back in, he drops it. Coronado to Weegar with a shot, and he whips it wide of the Sharks' net. That one doesn't miss by much. And now a 2-1-1 the other way. Toffoli in, shoots, and Wolf takes it off his chest protector and lets it drop into his glove and holds on. And we'll take a break with 1:32 to play in the opening period here at Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, where the Flames fell behind 1-0, but have battled back. Mackenzie Weegar ties it, and Adam Klapka gives his team the league. It is Calgary 2 and San Jose 1. And this is Calgary Flames Hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames Hockey. Brought to you by Wolf Cadillac and Alpine Credits. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
The sun is shining, and the open road is calling. The perfect time to spring into Audi at Glenmore Audi. Get up to $2,000 in stackable cash. Rates from 0% on in-stock 2025 Audi Q5s and complimentary Audi care on all vehicles. Don't just welcome spring. Arrive in style. Elevate your drive at Glenmore Audi. Offer ends April 30th. Visit glenmoreaudi.com.
We are Canadian, eh? Let's get in the garden with Spruce It Up. Seeds and grower supplies and starter plants are now in. We have houseplants, new pots, and home decor. Time to spruce up the yard, eh? Call our landscape design team to get your outdoor space ready for summer. Call our team at Prune It Up, as spring is a great time to prune your trees and shrubs. Want the greenest grass on the block? Call now to book your Green It Up lawn fertilizer. Spruce it up, green it up, prune it up. We got you covered.
You're listening to Calgary Flames Hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
While the Calgary Hitmen are off on the road for games 3 and 4 of their playoff series second round against the Lethbridge Hurricanes, if necessary, and we hope it is, game 5 of that series will be played here at Scotiabank Saddledome Friday at 7 o'clock. Secure your seats at hitmanhockey.com/tickets. Hitmen down 0-2 in that series. Games 3 and 4 go Tuesday, Wednesday in Lethbridge. Hitmen will try to even that series at 2 apiece on the road.
Just to pick up the Adam Klapka conversation, Pat, talked about how he's starting to become more productive at the NHL level. He had 2 goals and points in his first 24 career games, and with a goal and an assist in this game, he's up to 4 goals and 7 points in his last 11 games. Pretty good for a guy who's played primarily on the fourth line.
Yeah, really starting to find his offensive swagger, and some of those defensive things will come.
Puck at a left point, held in, and fired to the net by Carlson. That shot goes wide. Smith looking for the rebound, can't collect it. As Backlund will grab it and flip it to Coleman. They'll bat it up the near boards and into the Shark zone as we're into the final 60 seconds of the opening period. Coronado's in there on the forecheck, working hard, 1-on-3, digs it free and centers it. The pass bounces by Frost, but is held in at the blue line by Anderson. He gives it to Coronado, returns it to Anderson. Anderson with a shot off a stick and wide of the Sharks net. And now Smith will pick it up and clear it out to center, ahead to Eklund. He backs it up into his own territory to Carlson. He gives it to Ruda. He returns it to his defense partner, Carlson, but now half a minute remaining in the first period. Carlson slip it up the left wing side to Wenberg. He stick handles by Sharon Govich. Now gets hit by Uyghur as he dumps it in behind Wolf's net. Ball cleared up the near boards. Slides by Frost. Sharon Govich will chase it into the Shark zone, but he's beaten to that puck by Thrun. Clears it up the far boards to Wenberg. Wenberg with 10 seconds left in the period plays it right wing side. Liljegren in is checked by the combination of Frost and Hanley. Now Toffoli will pick it up. He's got the Sharks goal. But the Sharks with the last second shot can't get it in on the goaltender Wolf, and that will do it for the first period here at Scotiabank Saddledome. And I'd like to sit here and say that the Flames played a really good first period in this must-win hockey game, but the truth is that's not the case. They didn't get off to a great start. Actually, probably one of the worst starts we've seen from them this season. Tyler Toffoli opened scoring in this hockey game with his team-leading 30th. That's 3 straight and 4 career 30-goal seasons for the former Flames sniper. He scores at .309 to make it 1-0, but the Flames get that goal back and kind of turn the tide at 9:24 when Mackenzie Uyghur scores his 8th to make it 1-1. And then at 14:15, Adam Klapka, with his 3rd goal in 3 career games against the Sharks, gives the Flames a 2-1 lead. And Pat, we're at the point in this season where how the Flames win doesn't matter. That they win matters. So the fact they've got a 2-1 lead after playing about half a period, I guess, is good news.
Yeah, they'll take it and now need to maybe hone in a little bit on some of the finer details. Sharks have gotten some quality opportunities on them. See if they can shut those down the rest of the way here.
We'll get to some first period stats in a minute, but first you've got a guest.
Let's head downstairs. It is 2-1 Calgary after 20 minutes of play. We're joined by Jonathan Huberdeau here in our first intermission. Jonathan, just your thoughts on that opening 20 minutes here so far tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't our best starts, but I think Wolfie kept us in the game, and I think we came back to 2 huge goals. So now we got the lead. We just gotta keep it.
You're in on both of those goals, Jonathan. What did you see on the Uyghur and Klapka goals?
Yeah, I think, obviously trying to keep things simple. Clapp made a good play to Weeks, and Weeks a really good shot. And after, just had to give it to Naz, and Naz did the whole thing and gave a nice tap into Clapp.
What's going to be important for your group now in the final 40 minutes?
Just to play a hard game. I think we got to be a little better offensively. We got to get some more shots, more traffic, and I think shut the door.
Jonathan, thanks for doing this. Good luck in the second, Hank.
Thank you.
Jonathan Huberdeau with a couple of assists as the Flames lead the Sharks 2-1 after 20.
Pat, you were talking about how much Adam Klapka likes playing against the Sharks. How about Jonathan Huberdeau, who, with 2 assists in the opening period, now has 25 points in 25 career games against these guys. Yep. So he likes playing against the Sharks as well. Shots on goal in the opening period, lopsided. San Jose had 15. Calgary had 6. On special teams, only 1 power play to tell you about. The Flames had it, but did not score on it. They are 0 for 1 on the Homes by Abbey power play. But they continue to be a very disciplined team. No Sharks power plays, which means no Flames penalty kills, powered by Wolf Cadillac Calgary. Take advantage of grand opening specials, including credit offers of up to $20,000 on select new 2024 models at Wolf Cadillac Calgary's brand new standalone dealership at 756 101 Street Southwest, just off of Stony Trail and Old Banff Coach Road. Well, the Flames need 2 points, not mathematically, they need 1, but they need 2 points realistically to stay in the fight for a Stanley Cup playoff spot. Didn't play a great period, but they do have the lead out in front of the Sharks, 2-1 through 20 minutes. Looking forward to the second, but first, it is time for our Prairie Honda first intermission as we send it over to Logan Gordon.
All right, guys, Flames lead the Sharks 2-1 after 20 minutes here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Logan Gordon, Matty Rose along with you. The first intermission brought to you by Prairie Honda. Need more power and efficiency in your lineup? Meet the 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid with rates from 2.99%. Visit prairiehonda.ca. We heard Jonathan Huberdeau say it there, Matty. Not their best period, but they find themselves up by 1 after 20.
Yeah, this is the Sharks team that'll give you a few grade A opportunities if you just keep on pressing throughout, and that's exactly what we saw in the opening period. Listen, that was a pretty poor performance out of the gate. You're really getting your show ran by the worst team in the NHL for the first 4 or 5 minutes, and the Sharks, rightfully so, were able to get the game's opening goal. Definitely not the start that you wanted to see in a game that you had to have against a team that is way below you in the standings. But despite that, Flames were able to get a couple of grade A chances. That Kadri group with Klapka and then Huberdeau creating some really nice offense. Like that play that Mackenzie Weegar scores on, it all starts with a Will Smith turnover off the wall where he's a little bit pressured. The Flames were able to work in a change on their blue line, and Mackenzie Weegar comes flying in off the bench. Klapka finds him, and I love a good just grip it and rip it slap shot, and that's exactly what we saw from Weegar as he got to lean into one from the top of the circle, and you typically don't have that type of room in the NHL, but against a team like the Sharks, that type of room was certainly there. So we were able to see them kind of even up the game. And then a little bit later, like you heard from Jonathan Huberdeau, that's a great job by Nazem Kadri. He avoids a check down the wall from Henry Thrun, one of those really sellout hits, and he completely misses. And then nobody decides to pick up the biggest man on the ice, Adam Klapka, who's just sitting beside the goalpost. Liljegren can't stop the pass, and none of the forwards come back to help out as far as covering Adam Klapka, and he's able to just kind of slap that thing home almost like a bubble hockey player. Just the rotation down on his knee, just knocked it right into the net, and sure enough, the Flames lead 2-1 despite being outshot 15-6 in the first period.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that. And how much credit do you give to Dustin Wolf? First TV timeout, Sharks 12, Flames 2 on the shots on goal. Second TV timeout, Matty, 14 shots on goal for San Jose, 4 for Calgary. Wolf keeps them in it there in the first.
Yeah, it was not very good. It was all Sharks in the offensive zone. Some of their, I would say, top players, Eklund, Celebrini, Will Smith, getting a couple of good looks, attacking off the rush. Dustin Wolf, there wasn't necessarily any saves that are, save of the year type candidates, but he had to be sharp. And there was a couple of instances where the Sharks were quite obviously trying to shoot for rebounds and create a little bit of havoc around the net, and he was able to swallow those up, cover those up, and not allow any type of rebound. And that's one of the things that's really impressed me about Dustin Wolf so much this year. It's not just the way that he tracks the puck, which is impressive in its own right, but it's the way that once he's got a beat on that puck, it's probably not going to get popped out anywhere and give anybody any extra chances.
2 assists for Jonathan Huberdeau in that period. Pretty easy to say this has been his best year all around as a member of the Calgary Flames. And, I don't know that you noticed him as much as maybe some of the other guys in that first period, but quietly contributing really all year long. We haven't seen a lot of those ups and downs as maybe we've seen from him in his first couple years.
Yeah, maybe a little bit quiet here over the last couple of weeks compared to kind of what we've known from him this season, as he's had a little bit of a return to form. I don't know if we're ever going to see the guy who was over 100 points with the Florida Panthers again here as a member of the Flames, but that being said, he's found ways to be effective, right? And the net front presence on the power play is one thing that's really stood out. It didn't really factor in much on the one power play that we saw for the Flames back in period number 1. But he does make a couple of nice plays. Like he makes a play on the wall to get the puck to Adam Klapka, holding the puck in at the blue line to help set up the opening goal. He makes a nice play in the D zone to help spring Nazem Kadri on the breakout that leads to the second goal. So there's just a few things like that he's able to do, the small plays that are able to help create offense, whether it's in the O zone or in the D zone. So I've really liked kind of the renaissance that we've seen from Jonathan Huberdeau this season as he started to become a really effective player once again.
Thoughts on the power play in period 1?
First unit zipped it around, didn't get a whole lot towards the net. There was a Morgan Frost shot set up by Coronado from out behind the net into this near dot. Frost missed the net. That led to a self-clear. The only other chance that really was towards the net was a one-timer by Kadri set up by Mackenzie Weegar at the point. And that one, what maybe impressed me the most wasn't the shot opportunity, but how they were able to recover the puck right after the shot. Coronado doing some good work down below the dots to make sure that it wasn't just a one and done for the Flames, that they were able to keep that power play up. And first unit was out there for almost 90 seconds, well over a minute, kind of zipping it around. They don't end up getting a goal, but I thought the first unit did have some good moments of zone time in period number 1.
Logan Gordon, Matty Rose, along with you here in the Peter Maher radio broadcast booth, brought to you by South Point Toyota. Get in and go under the tower with hundreds of new Toyotas arriving daily. Get financing as low as 0% OAC, 0 down, and no payments until September 2025. Flames lead the Sharks 2-1 after 20 minutes of play. This is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960 The Fan.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Canyon Plumbing and Heating and South Point Toyota. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
When you're creating opportunities that shape our community's future, you need support you can count on. That's why Reagan Weeks chose Equus.
Without the community support of an organization like Equus, the Agricultural Discovery Center wouldn't be possible. So what it allows us to do is take everything to the next level and make these experiences that much more impactful for our students.
Equus, powering local initiatives and building a stronger Alberta. Choose community. Choose Equus. Become a member today at equs.ca.
Build your new estate home in Southwest Calgary's Aspen Spring Estates or Aspen Acres Manor with Calgary's custom home builder, Shane Homes. Limited lots are now selling. Enjoy the very best Southwest Calgary has to offer with incredible mountain views, ample green spaces, great amenities, and more. Don't miss your chance to live in these sought-after Southwest communities. New homes start at $1.14 million in Aspen Spring Estates and $2 million in Aspen Acres Manor. Learn more at shanehomes.com. Shane Homes, the better way to build.
Hot tubs sure have changed over the past 25 years. Paradise Bay has Arctic spas that are now so efficient, you'll hardly notice a difference on your electric bill. Spa Boy Automated Water Care makes maintenance a breeze. Their spa's online technology allows for real-time monitoring and control from anywhere. Constant improvements in comfort and therapy will have you never wanting to get out of your Arctic spa. Come see what's new. You deserve it. Find your Arctic spa at goparadisebay.com.
Country Hills Ford, Brent speaking.
Hey Brent, it's your wife Jody on line 2.
Oh hey, what's up?
I'm looking for a quickie.
A quickie? Now?
Brent, I'm talking about a quick oil change.
You bet, because at Country Hills Ford, we now offer no appointment express lane service.
Fast, friendly, and convenient. Drive in for your no appointment oil change today at Country Hills Ford. Only minutes from the Calgary Airport.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Homes by Abbey and Country Hills Ford. Sportsnet 960, The Fan. Time to break down the first 20 minutes. You're locked on Flames Talk at the intermission with Pat Steinberg. Sportsnet 960, The Fan, Calgary.
All right, it's Logan Gordon along with you. Flames 2, Sharks 1 after 20 minutes here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. It's time for the Flames Time Machine, brought to you by Paradise Bay Hot Tubs. For all your hot tub and patio needs, come see them at goparadisebay.com. And we take you back 11 years ago to the day, a very special debut as a member of the Calgary Flames would make their mark on the team over the next number of years, debuted in Vancouver.
Back to the blue line. It goes to Breen in the Vancouver zone. He lets the shot go off. Stick scores! Chris Breen with a shot from the blue line was redirected. Was it
Yes,
Johnny
it
Gaudreau?
was. Yes, it was.
Johnny Gaudreau, first NHL game, first NHL goal, and it's now a 4-1 game.
Yes, Johnny Gaudreau this time of the year. Plenty of players finishing up junior careers and college careers. Johnny would make his debut 11 years ago and is scoring his first career goal. Flames would fall 5-1 to the Vancouver Canucks on this day in 2014. Just signed his NHL contract 2 days prior after finishing up a career at Boston College. College teammate and fourth-round pick of the Flames in 2010, Bill Arnold, also making his NHL debut in that day after signing the same day as Gaudreau. Of course, Johnny would go on to have a great career with the Flames, 602 games, 210 goals, 399 assists, and 609 points. Of course, Johnny and his brother Matthew tragically passed away in August 2024. Excuse me. That was your Flames Time Machine, brought to you by Paradise Bay Hot Tubs. Stay with us during tonight's postgame show for the save of the game, brought to you by Shane Homes. For every save a Flames goaltender makes, Shane Holmes donates $5 to Kidsport Calgary. Visit ShaneHolmes.com. The better way to build. It'd be a former Flame kicking off the scoring tonight here at the Scotiabank Saddledome as Tyler Toffoli got the Sharks on the board early after a good start from San Jose, but it wouldn't take long for the Flames to reply.
Huberdeau gives it to Klapka. He drops it to Weegar. Weegar shoots and scores! Mackenzie Weegar with an 89-mile-an-hour slap shot in the top corner of the Sharks' net, and the Flames tie the game at 1.
Mackenzie Weegar's 8th of the season from Klapka and Huberdeau. He has all sorts of space in the offensive zone. Rips one home to tie this game up at 1. Flames would continue to pressure the Sharks, and it would be Adam Klapka, his 5th of the season, giving the Flames a 2-1 lead later on.
Backhands it up the far boards to Huberdeau. Makes a quick pass to Kadri. Kadri crosses the red line, and now the Sharks' blue line, and gets by Thrun. Kadri glides in and centers. Klapka scores! What a play by Nazem Kadri to set up Adam Klapka for a tap-in, and the Flames take a 2-1 lead.
Nazem Kadri does the work, and Adam Klapka gets the finish, his 5th of the year from Huberdeau, and Kadri gives the Flames their 2nd goal on just 6 shots in the first period. Outplayed by San Jose, but they lead by 1 after 20 minutes. Let's get you an out-of-town scoreboard. Brought to you by Alberta Ford Dealers. Lease a 2025 Ford F-150 STX with the black appearance package during the Fords. It's a big deal event. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca today. In the NHL light schedule, I can tell you that a couple finals on this day. Flyers over the Sens over the Flyers in OT. Islanders over the Devils 1-0. Leafs beat the Hurricanes 4-1. Tampa Bay 7, Buffalo 4. Columbus with a 4-1 win over the Washington Capitals. In Winnipeg, it's the Oilers up 2-1 on the Jets in the 3rd period. Your late game tonight is Colorado and Anaheim. And congratulations to Rory McIlroy, your 2025 Masters champion. That is your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Alberta Ford Dealers. When we come back, Pat Steinberg, Derek Wills have the 2nd period call. Flames looking to be better than they were in the opening 20 as they look to secure another important 2 points in their playoff push. This is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Country Hills Toyota and Green Drop. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Give me a P. P. Give me an O. O. Give me an L. L. Give me a Y. Y. Give me a B. B. What's that spell? Polly B. Where do we want it?
As far away as possible.
Not in my house.
Who would want that?
If you have gray pipes in your home, it could be Poly B, which is prone to leaks and bursts. Canyon Plumbing and Heating specializes in Poly B removal and replacement. Call them for a free site assessment and accurate quote for your project. Learn more at canyonplumbing.com.
Rodents. Not only do they find their way into your home, spreading disease, they also destroy your lawn. If you've tried to get rid of voles, mice, or rats with not a lot of luck, it's time to call BuzzBoss Home Pest Defense, because it's not about luck. BuzzBoss knows what to look for and knows how to get rid of unwanted pests. So much so, they offer squeak-free results guaranteed. And with easy online booking, you'll be pest-free in no time.
Take back your yard. BuzzBoss Home Pest Defense. Online at buzzboss.com.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with a range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. In stock now with rates from 2.99%. Visit prairiehonda.ca for details.
It's game time. You're listening to Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Tough start for the Flames on this Sunday evening. The Sharks had a 12-2 edge in shots and a 1-0 lead on Tyler Toffoli's 30th of the season, but the Flames were better in the back half of the opening period. Wound up getting outshot 15-6 when all was said and done, but got goals from Mackenzie Weegar and Adam Klapka. And it is Calgary 2 and San Jose 1 as we get set to start the second. Derek Wills alongside Pat Steinberg, who is in for Megan Mickelson, who's on assignment. At the end of the day, wins are all that matter for the Flames at this stage of the game, Pat, and you've got the lead through 20, but what do you want to see from them in the final 40 as they try to keep their Stanley Cup playoff hopes alive?
Much less leaky. High dangers at 5-on-5 were 5-2 San Jose in that first period, so got to be a whole lot more buttoned up.
In the second period, the Flames with their home red jerseys on are moving from left to right on your radios. The Sharks with their road whites from right to left. Puck beyond the Flames net. Wenberg in the near quarter whips it in front. It bounces around to the blue paint, and Anderson will grab it and slide it up the near boards to Kadri. He'll cross the Sharks' blue line, put on the brakes, and as the puck stolen by Thrun, who's bumped by Klapka, as it's picked up and behind the net by Liljegren. Both teams will start to change. 40 seconds into the second period. Thrun setting up the breakout from behind Romanov's net. Standing there, fans getting impatient as he finally fires the puck to center. Celebrini turns it over. Here comes Coronado in. Coronado with a toe drag at a shot. It goes off Thrun and wide. Now Thrun will take over behind the net. He backhanded up the far boards. Liljegren gives it to Celebrini. He slides it out to center and up the near side to Smith, who backhands it in from the red line. Wolf into the trapezoid. Backhands the puck near corner to Weegar. Weegar bounces it by Celebrini, who awkwardly falls down to the ice, and a stoppage in play. 1 minute and 18 seconds into the second period. So the Flames currently 5 points out of the first wild card spot held by the Wild, 4 points out of the second wild card spot occupied by the Blues, but they do have 2 games in hand on both of those teams, Pat. They're playing one of them right now, and the math would look a lot better if the Flames picked up 2 points tonight.
Fact is, Flames can't lose again in regulation, Wilsey, and they need help on Tuesday night too.
They need at least one of those 2 teams to lose. Better yet, both. Gives them a couple of paths in. Awkward collision outside of the Sharks bench as Will Smith goes down awkwardly and loses his helmet on the play. Luckily, he's right there to jump over the boards and onto the bench. Now he's trying to fish his helmet off the ice as Flames force the Sharks to ice it.
Look, San Jose, when they have offensive zone time, has been giving Calgary fits. And it's been really tough for them to contain some of the skilled players. Celebrini, Smith, Toffoli's been very, very noticeable tonight. But neutral zone and in the Shark zone has started to get a little bit better for the Flames. And so they can continue that. I like the way things are trending for them. And part of what is, I think, helped turn this game has been the play of the Frost line that's out there now, because that's one of the lines that really has a bit of a depth advantage in a game like this.
Frost out there between Sharangovich and Pospisil. As Vlasic will pick it up at the Sharks line and slide it far side, and now Thompson dumps it down the ice. Wolf wanders out to get it, gives it to Bean. Moves it a rink wide to Pospisil. Crosses the red line and dumps it in. Back to get it is Thompson. Frost in hot pursuit of him is Thompson. Can't clear it out. Sharangovich holds it in left point. Slides it right point to Anderson, who winds and fires, and a puck deflects over Romanov's net and over the glass and out of play.
See, a nice job there by the Flames in pressuring the outlet pass as the Sharks tried to just do a little chip off their own half boards and out, but a nice job pressuring it by Kevin Ball, which allows Yegor Sharangovich to pick up the loose puck. It was thrown into the middle. That's supposed to be just an easy chip off the half boards into the neutral zone, but because it was pressured by Ball, not a perfect touch on it. Sharangovich moves it to Anderson, who gets a shot on net. The puck goes out of play.
Face off to Romanov's left. Kadri wins it. Back to the right point to Anderson. Anderson throws it into the blue paint, but it deflects up the far boards and is now brought out by Bordeleau. Bordeleau trying to saucer a pass over to Stapchuk, but it bounces away from him and into the near corner. And Anderson will give it to Huberdeau, who had 2 assists in the first period. Good to see him get off the schneid. Jonathan Huberdeau had been struggling. He only had 1 point the previous 8 games, Pat. There's Klapka, right wing side. Weegar shoots off the goal post. He beats Romanov and rings it off the iron to his right. Here's Huberdeau, far corner to Kadri, who spins to protect the puck from Thrun. Kadri will take it back to the blue line. And again, protected with his body as he backhands it into the near corner. Klapka with a big hit on Vlasic as Stapchuk gets tripped up by Huberdeau. Klapka tries to center it to Huberdeau. Puck deflects back to the left point to Hanley instead. Hanley down low to Kadri with a sharp angle backhand fought off by Romanov. And now Hanley will slide it across to Weegar. Weegar whips it up the left wing side to Kadri. Kadri with a shot. Stop. Big rebound off Romanov. And Vlasic will pick the puck up. and leave it in behind the net for Thrawn, who pitchforks it up the near side over to Grunstrom, but he can't get it out as he's hit by Rooney, who holds it in. Now Vlasic will bank it off the boards and out. Flames have started to turn the tide here in the second period as they try to extend their 2-1 lead. There's Lomberg with a shot, a rising wrister held by Romanov, and he'll get a face-off to his left.
A whole lot more like what you want to see from the Flames. They're the deeper team, they're the team with more veteran experience, that they've got the more talented roster, and make San Jose make some mistakes in their own zone. That's first shift maybe all night where the Flames really, for an extended period of time, have the Sharks team under duress, and some nice battles won by Adam Klapka, who did just great work on the Mackenzie Weegar opportunity. Klapka beat 3 guys, or fended off 3 guys before Weegar hit the post.
Here's Anderson with a shot, steered aside by Romanov. Ball it out the left point. We'll pick it up and drop it off to Coleman, who shoots off a body and wide of the Sharks net. Now Anderson, another shot, and Romanov has it stuck in his gear. And I think he was wondering if that puck maybe snuck through him, but nope, he's able to keep it out.
Nice to see Rasmus Andersson shooting the puck here in period number 2. Thought that he and Ball had a couple of rough shifts in the first 10 minutes or so of the first period, but a nice start to the second for that pairing here.
Rasmus Andersson has certainly had an up and down season, but he has equaled his career high for goals with 11, which makes you want him to shoot it more, right?
He's got a good shot. We've seen it many times.
Walking behind the Flames net. Eklund twisting and turning in the near corner. Fires it into the far corner. Toffoli will back it up to the blue line to Ruda. Ruda with a shot blocked by Coleman, who breaks his stick. As the puck comes free for Toffoli, who shoots, it's loose, and Ruda scores. Jan Ruda sneaks in and backhands the rebound by Dustin Wolf, and the Sharks tie the game at 2.
Unfortunate play and an unfortunate break for Blake Coleman. They did a great job of fronting the Jan Ruda shot. So Ruda at the right point. Actually, I did not like the decision to try to put it through Coleman, but he gets lucky because Coleman's stick breaks and it becomes a 5-on-4. Shot on net, kicked out. It was a Toffoli shot, who's been great tonight. Tipped by Eklund, I think, and because of the tip, Dustin Wolf couldn't handle the rebound as well as he wanted, and then Ruda follows up, understanding that Coleman doesn't have his stick, and it's a pseudo 5-on-4 situation. Jan Ruda gets the rebound. So 2 rebound goals for the Sharks, and we got a tie game.
Ruda just came back. He played 19 minutes and 29 seconds in the Sharks' 4-2 loss to the Oilers on Friday, in his return after missing 27 games with a lower body injury. And he scores a big goal for his team here. And we are back to square one, tied at 2 tonight.
And it's been the top 6 for San Jose that's done the damage. It's been Toffoli who's done a lot of the damage so far this evening for San Jose. But that's what even Ryan Huska told us on the coaches show coming into tonight's game, that it's a group that's got some offensive talent. So if you make a mistake, and in this case it was a Blake Coleman, not mistake, it was a bad break, but they're going to capitalize when they get a little bit of daylight like that.
Allie will clear it up the fireboards, and now Kadri will pick it up and give it to Clapham. Here's the game-time goal.
Assist to number 72, William Eklund, and to number 73, Tyler Toffoli. Top of the goal, 420. Ruda from Eklund and Toffoli at 420.
And we've got a tie hockey game as we approach the 5-minute mark of the second period. There's a turnover. Kovalenko will pick it up and slide it down low to Celebrini. Celebrini stick handles into the far circle, and now walks into the high slot. Celebrini still has the puck on his stick, and he'll slide it down low. And Al Smith will take over in the near corner, but he loses his balance and falls as Weegar will pick the puck up and play it to Kadri, who protects it and sends it out to center to Huberdeau. Now Huberdeau returns it to Kadri at the end of a shift. They'll flip it into the Shark zone as the Flames start to change. Here comes Thrun, a Harvard man. They'll dump it in behind Wolf's net. Puck is held in right wing side by Gregor. Hits it in deep. And now Weegar will slide it into the near corner. Nobody's home for the Flames, though. Pospisil back to help out defensively. We'll give it to Weegar, who lifts the puck up in the air and skips it down the ice.
Smart play by Weegar. That could have been bad had he not done that.
Vlasic clears it out, and now Sharon Govich dumps it right back in. Marc-Edouard Vlasic playing in his 1,321st game, 8th most by an active player. Here's Frost back to the blue line. Pospisil shoots off Sharon Govich's skating wide. Now Frost will slide it in behind the net to Sharon Govich. Gets into a battle with Delandry and knocks him off the puck, but it's picked up by Frost. Frost tried to leave it for Pospisil, but Gets knocked off balance as Landria backhand the puck out and up the hall. The red line will try to shoot it in, but it bounces off to Landria and ricochets all the way back into Flames territory.
Right, nobody went after Delandria at the trade deadline. Could have been a nice depth center for a team in need.
Plays with some grit, doesn't he? Serby up the right side with a shot deflected and stopped. It's loose in the blue paint, and somehow Romanov keeps it out.
Well, on the San Jose tying goal, big reason why the rebound got kicked out was the Eklund tip in front, and Farabee uses traffic here to make life difficult for Romanov, and the Flames almost get a rebound goal of their own.
And we'll take a break with 13:33 to play in the second period here at Scotiabank Saddledome. The Flames had a 2-1 lead through 20 minutes, but Jan Ruda has his third of the season, and that goal at 4:20 of the second period has this game tied. It's Calgary 2 and San Jose 2, and this is Calgary Flames Hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames Hockey. Brought to you by Glenmore Audi and Equus. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Darcy Chenor here for Eastside Dodge with Lanny McDonald. Lanny, you know what I'm excited about? Trucks.
Anything else?
More trucks. Trucks that tow, trucks that haul, trucks that are fun to drive, trucks with no tariffs. Spring clearance is on. Ram Heavy Duty, $2,500 and $3,500, up to $14,000 off. Or lease a brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Sport for only $329 bi-weekly.
Some might say you have a one-truck mind. See, I have jokes too. Hurry into Eastside Dodge and tell them Lenny sent you.
At Wolseley, we're the people behind your projects. When you visit one of our branches, you're not just getting products, you're getting expert guidance from our knowledgeable associates. We're here to help you find the right solutions for every job, fast. No one knows your needs like we do. Whether you shop at one of our branches or online at wolseleyexpress.com, experience the difference our team makes in keeping your projects on track. Your project, our priority.
You're listening to Calgary Flames Hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Next month, Canada's National Junior A champion will be crowned here in Calgary at the 2025 Centennial Cup. Calgary Canucks are hosting Junior A teams from across the country May 8th to 18th at Max Bell Center. Get your tickets now at hockeycanada.ca/Centennial Cup.
Flames with an offensive zone. Dryer's ball behind the net to Kadri, who centers, but his pass goes right through Huberdeau's skates. And back to the right point to Anderson, who steps in and shoots. And that shot gets blocked by Wenberg. Anderson will knock it behind the net. Kadri tries to bounce it off of a body and into the Sharks' net. That doesn't work. And now Toffoli will lift it up in the air and down the ice. On goals by Tyler Toffoli and Jan Runa. Sandwiching goals by Mackenzie Weegar and Adam Klapka. We got a 2-2 game here at the Saddledome on this Sunday. Ball trying a shot, and it gets blocked by Carlson. And now the puck is cleared out by Eklund.
This top line, Kadri, Klapka, Huberdeau, has really started to turn things for Calgary.
It's Kadri, and up the right wing side. He tries to cut to the middle, but loses the puck in Statchup's equipment. As Thrun will bounce it off a stick and in behind Wolf's net. Puck takes a weird hop off the end boards. Wolf has to hustle back into the blue paint as it's played left point to Thrun. He slides it across, and Liljegren with a shot, knocked down to the doorstep by Weegar, and now Weegar tries to feed Farabee, who wasn't expecting that pass, and Thrun will pick the puck up and bring it right back in. It drops right wing side, Bordelot trying to center, but his pass is intercepted by Weegar. Slides it out, Farabee will drop it to Kadri, and he'll dump it in. Farabee goes flying in there in the forecheck and tries to shovel it out in front, and ends up taking a stick in the face, and we've got a penalty call coming up against the Sharks.
Gonna go check Farabee to see if he's busted up, but no blood. So just the 2, I think, is what we're going to see as Liljegren, who had a great opportunity, tried a shot pass just in the last foray into the offensive zone for San Jose that just missed. Just a little too overzealous behind the net with Joel Farabee. Gets the stick up in that puck battle, and that ends up being the high sticking call, and the Flames will go to their second power play of the night.
This power play is built by Homes by Avi. Looking for a quickie? Homes by Avi has quick possession homes to get you moving fast. Visit homesbyavi.com today. Flames have scored a lot of timely power play goals this season, and this would be a timely time to get one. 12-11 left in the second in a 2-2 hockey game. Flames will win the offensive zone draw. Here's Weegar. Near side to Kadri. And now down low to Huberdeau. Huberdeau returns the puck to Kadri, who kicks it to his stick. Kadri will saucer it in front to Frost, who drops to Weegar. Weegar into the near circle to Kadri. Fumbles the puck, recovers it. Does a little dancing. Kadri bounces it off a stick into the near quarter to Huberdeau. Spins to get away from front. Walks behind the Sharks net. Moves it far quarter to Frost. Frost back to the blue line to Weegar. Near circle to Kadri. Kadri throws it to the net, and it deflects off a stick and wide to the far boards. Here's Frost now. He's overdue. Frost will bank it off the boards back to the left point to Weegar. Walks the line and drops it to Frost. Frost steps in and shoots, and that shot goes off of Ruda and deflects out of play.
Like what Frost was trying to do there, kind of walk into the middle and take a shot, but well scouted by Henry Thrun to make sure it goes out of play on the stick check. Kadri had an opportunity, and he did get a decent chance on it as he threw it to the net, but had Kadri been a little quicker, he kind of corralled and then shot as opposed to just taking the shot immediately. Had he blasted that off of the one-timer or close to it, might have caught Romanov leaning just a little bit.
Sharks with the defensive zone draw, but don't get it out. It's interesting they didn't change their defense there. Here's Kadri with a shot knocked out in front by Huberdeau. Fighting for it, he can't corral it. Frost's after it as well, and he can't get a hold of it. Now Huberdeau steals it from Ruda. Ruda will saucer it up the near side to Kadri. Kadri back to the blue line to Weegar. Weegar spins and slides it far side to Frost. Frost tries to play it across to Kadri, but that pass is picked off by Delandria, who dumps the puck down the ice. So they had a chance to change everybody there, and the Sharks left Thrun on the ice, who had a 2-minute and 22-second long shift, and finally gets to the bench now. Here's Backlund, up the near side to Kadri. Now right point to Coleman, returns the puck to Kadri. Flames leader in goals and points, slides it down low to Backlund. Backlund, near half boards to Kadri. Will saucer it back to the blue line to Anderson. Anderson, far circle to Sharon Govich with a shot, fought off by Romanov. Haven't seen enough of those shots from Sharky this season, but that was a good one.
More recently, though.
No doubt about that. Sharon Govich gives it to Backlund. 5 seconds left in the Flames power play. Backlund stick handling in the far corner. Centers it. Coleman shoots it and is stopped from point-blank range by Romanov. And now the puck will deflect over the glass and out of play, but a good chance there for Blake Coleman to pick up his 6th point in the last 6 games.
Power play's done, and the Flames will go 0 for 2 with the man advantage, but I like that power play better than I liked their first period one. I think that's one that maybe they can build momentum off of a little more, because one thing Mike Rogers, the former color voice of the Flames, used to say is, the penalty kill or the power play, it's all about outworking the other unit, and I really thought the Flames power play unit outworked San Jose there.
Flames with an offensive zone draw, Handel locking in behind the net. Lomberg battling for it. Farabee comes in to help him out. Puck squirts by both of them though, and now Vlasic tries to clear but can't as Hanley holds it in left point. But Smith steals it from him and slides it ahead to Celebrini. Here comes last summer's first overall pick. Celebrini shoots, and the puck deflects off Weegar and wide of Wolf's net. Puck to the right point. Liljegren slides it down low to Celebrini, who tries to center, but Wolf, with a smart play, breaks up that pass with a stick. Here comes Farabee the other way. He'll chip the puck in and chase it. Joel Farabee, goalless in 15 games going on 16. He's been snake-bitten, but not as snake-bitten as his former Flyers and current Flames teammate Morgan Frost, goalless in 24 going on 25. Flames would love to get something from one of those guys, Pat.
Both guys feel like they're starting to play a little bit more comfortable in Flames colors, though.
Ball will dump the puck in. Ruda goes back to get it. Slips it near side to Carlson. As we approach the 11-minute mark of the second period here at the Saddle Dome, where it's 2-2. Nothing on the line for the Sharks. Everything on the line for the Flames. They need at least a point to remain mathematically alive, and they need 2 points to remain realistically alive in their fight for a Stanley Cup playoff spot. Here's Pospisil, far side to ball. He gives it to Sharon Govich, who turns it over. Carlson will work it up the left wing side to Wenberg. He walks to the middle. Wenberg has his pocket picked by Frost, but gets it right back. Wenberg spins and drops. Vlasic shoots. Wolf knocks it down. Bouncing puck. And Eklund can't backhand it in. It is held in right point by Carlson. Carlson will shovel it in behind the Flames net. Anderson takes it away from his former teammate Toffoli. Clears it up the far boards. Frost gets tripped up. There's no penalty call as Toffoli will saucer it to Vlasic, who shoots, and Wolf makes a good blocker stop. Now to come free in the near quarter for Anderson. Anderson hit as he lifts it up and out. Now Thompson will pick it up and give it to Gregor, who dumps it right back in. Anderson hustles back to get it, moves it far corner to ball, and chops the puck to Sharon Gomich, and he'll send it out to center ahead to Pospisil. Another guy who's trying to create some offense. He is goalless in 22 games, going on 23. It's not like he hasn't played well, Pat. I haven't loved his last stretch, but prior to that, I thought he was a very impactful player for this team.
Since the Four Nations.
Yeah. Coleman with a sharp angle shot that goes off a stick and wide of the Sharks net. And now Thrun will lob it up in the air, drop it into the flame zone, and that'll be an icing call on the Sharks with 7:38 to play in the second period. Coming to you from the Peter Maher Radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota. Get in and go under the tower at South Point Toyota. With hundreds of new Toyotas arriving daily, get financing as low as 0% OAC with 0 down and 0 payments until September 2025. Only for my friends at South Point Toyota.
Once again, Sharks giving the Flames and seemingly everybody they play these days all they can handle. Ask the Minnesota Wild, ask the Edmonton Oilers, ask the Flames 6 nights ago at SAP Center. This Sharks team is really trying to dial in for next season.
Pesky Sharks. Bahal with a shot off of Gregor. It deflects back to the left point to Beam. Bounces it off the boards to Huberdeau, but he's shoved off the puck by Liljegren and slides back into Flames territory. The Sharks 0-1-1 to start a 4-game road trip, and they come in on an 8-game losing streak, 0-6-2, with 19 goals for and 40 goals against. Giving the Flames all they can handle here tonight. Klapka with a hit along the far boards on by Delandria. A battle for it outside of the Flames bench. Sharks will come up with it. Here comes Smith. And up the right wing side, he spins and drops his pass to Celebrini. He's intercepted by Huberdeau. Moves it ahead to Coronado, who steps in. Coronado trying to get to it. Does get a backhand shot off as he's taken down by Ruda, but puck is stopped by Romanov. Celebrini will send it out to center to Smith. He drops it to Celebrini. He slides it far side to Ruda, and he'll slap the puck in from center. It's a weird hop on Wolf, who can't play it. Uyghur will take over and give it to Coleman. Coleman gives it away. Ends up deflecting back to Uyghur. He'll slide it up the middle of the ice to Coleman. Coleman will leave it for Coronado as his pocket picked by Grunstrom. Now Carlson will clear it out, but Coronado will pick it up and speed right back in. Coronado shoots, is stopped, big rebound. Coleman trying to get there, one-hands it to the net. It bounces around in the blue paint, and there's a quick whistle.
Yeah, it was a hand pass. The ref spotted it well. It was a hand pass. I know Coleman doesn't like the call, but he kind of directed it with his arm, which kept the play alive. Boy, this game is a whole lot closer than the Flames would like it to be.
Sure is. 6:17 to play in period number 2 here at Scotiabank Saddledome, where the shots have tightened up. San Jose's got 20, Calgary's got 18. And the Sharks and the Flames are tied at 2. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Eastside Dodge and Shane Holmes. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Big news, Calgary. The wait is over. Canada's newest Chevrolet Buick GMC dealership is now open. Find Wolf Calgary at 756 101st Street Southwest, just off Stony Trail on Old Banff Coach Road. Experience Canada's newest Chevy Buick GMC dealership with over 40 service bays, plus standalone Cadillac dealership with concierge service. Be among the first to explore Wolf Calgary's state-of-the-art showrooms. Visit them in person or online at wolfcadillacCalgary.com.
The sounds of summer. Going camping. Hanging out at the lake. And you getting your sticky butt off that couch. Visit Canyon Plumbing and Heating to find the right Goodman air conditioner for your home before summer hits. Because, oh man, you're gonna need it. Visit their 8,000 square foot showroom at 114 Ave Southeast.
You're listening to Calgary Flames hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Following tonight's game, stay tuned for the Shane Holmes save of the game. For every save a Flames goalie makes, Shane Holmes donates $5 to Kidsport Calgary. For details, visit ShaneHolmes.com. Shane Holmes, the better way to build. And just a special shout out to Megan Mickelson, our third member of our broadcast crew, and to Flames TV's Brendan Parker. They're doing the Harvey's Mountain Classic, the animated game on Sportsnet 360 tonight. Hope they're having a blast.
Here's Anderson, right wing boards to Backlund. Flames captain will chip it in. Romanov backhands it up the far boards as Coleman steamrolls Liljegren. The puck is centered in front, but gets away from Coronado, and here comes Eklund out to center. Eklund will backhand it in and then head to the Sharks bench to change as we pass the 14-minute mark of the second period here at the Dome, where it's 2-2. Ball to bounce it off of Coleman's stick, and the puck deflects over the glass and into the seats. And I've been meaning to congratulate Flames captain Michael Backlund, who on Friday night scored the 213th goal of his NHL career to move into a tie with Al MacInnis for 7th most in franchise history. And he's only a couple of goals away from tying the great Lanny McDonald for 6th in Flames history.
Pretty good career for the number 2 all-time games played leader, Michael Backlund, who hit 1,000 games this year, signs one more deal after the one that will expire after next season, and we could be talking about him being the all-time games played leader. Jerome McGinley's 1,219 is that current mark.
Govic swats the puck into the Shark zone. Carlson will slide it up the far boards to Ruda, and he'll clear it. Goodrow bounces it to the Flames blue line no further, and now Bean whip the puck ahead to Pospisil. He's turned back at the Sharks blue line. Here comes Goodrow the other way. Works it up the left wing side to Gregor. Chips the puck by Bahal and into the near corner. Goodrow and Delandry in there is Goodrow. He'll swing it up the right wing side to Thompson. Just throws it in behind the Flames net where puck is picked up by Frost, and he'll leave it behind for Bean, who moves it up the middle to Frost, who gets bowled over from behind as Sharon Govic gets the puck in deep, and the Flames start to change. 5 minutes to play in the second period here at the Saddle Dome. The Flames and the Sharks are tied at 2. Kadri will stick handle across his blue line and now turn back. Kadri being chased by Eklund, protects the puck from him and gives it to Pahal. Rick Van Hanley, who gives it right back to Kadri, and he'll flip it into the far corner and go after it. Vlasic beats him there and gives it to Thompson. Thompson, though, can't control it. Now Kadri's all over Vlasic on the forecheck. The veteran defenseman comes up with the puck and leaves it for Wenberg, who slides it to Toffoli, and he'll flip it to the Flames blue line. Here's Hanley to Huberdeau, left wing side to Kadri, who bounces it right in on Romanov, who had a little trouble with that one-hopper. Puck gets cleared out and now dumped
playing
in.
Shortstop.
Yeah. Fans trying to get the Flames going here. Sanderson bounces it off Coleman's stick. Puck will flutter towards the Sharks net. Liljegren clears it up the far boards. He takes a weird hop and gets by Coronado, and now Smith moves it up the right wing side and ahead to Kovalenko. Turns into the far corner, protects the puck and plays it left point to Thrun. Thrun with a shot knocked down by Coleman, who moves it to Backlund, who tries to thread the needle to Coronado. Puck misses him, but he catches up to it and centers it, but Liljegren breaks up that pass intended for one of Backlund or Coleman. Just love the work ethic of Matt Coronado.
Always.
Puck is dumped in. Weegar back to get it. Smith steals it from him. Weegar trips him and gets away with one. Puck to the right point. Here's Ruda. Across to Carlson with a shot off of Weegar and wide to the far corner. Now Celebrini will bank it off the boards. Back to the right point. The guy, the game-tying goal, Ruda. Slides it near side to Carlson, who shoots and rips it right over top of Wolf's net. And the puck will ricochet off the end boards and roll all the way down the ice.
You get a real sense of nervous energy, don't you, right now, Wilsey? In
absolutely.
Both the building and the team in red.
Yep. And I can't say I blame them. Here's Rooney. Ahead to Farabee. He drops it to Rooney. He returns it to Farabee. He'll cross the Sharks line and bank it off the boards back to Rooney. Hops away from him. Picked up by Bordeleau on the far corner, but he coughs it up as he's hit by Lomberg. And now he gets it back and gives it away to Farabee. Farabee centers it. Rooney gets knocked down, though, and it can't accept the pass. And now Grunstrom will throw it in behind the Flames net, and that'll be an icing call on the Sharks with 2:39 to play in the second period. Tyler Toffoli gave the Sharks a 1-0 lead before Mackenzie Weegar and Adam Klopka scored to make it 2-1 Flames through 20 minutes. But the Sharks have the only goal of the second period. Jan Ruda tying the game at 2, and that's where we're at with 2:39 to play in the second period.
Big 2:39 here for the Flames. If they can get one or even get to the intermission tied 2-2, I still think they're in good shape.
Puck loose in front. Huberdeau dangling, can't get a shot off. Made a great move, and then the puck just rolled away from him. And he definitely had a lot of net to put that puck into.
Did a nice job outweighting Romanov and just couldn't get that backhand shot away.
Flames get it in deep. Thrun will take over and behind his net and give it to Grunstrom. There's a bouncing by him, though, and Anderson's going to slap it back in from center ice. Romanov clears it up the near boards, not out. Thrun being pressured by Huberdeau and Klopka. Will give it to Liljegren. This pass misses to Foley, though, and that'll be another icing call on the Sharks. Some good shifts for the Flames here late in the second period, Pat, as they try to take a 3-2 lead to the dressing room.
Yep, and that would obviously be the ideal. And what I like is that the Kadri-Huberdeau duo are the guys that seemingly every time they're out there swing momentum back Calgary's way. Both guys have been really, really good tonight. Those two have been in big moments before like this, and they're not shying away from it. A few other guys look a little more tight and tentative compared to Kadri and Huberdeau.
Another icing call on the Sharks as Flames will get another offensive zone face-off with 1:57 to play in the second period. Not a lot of shots on goal in the last few minutes. San Jose stuck at 20. Calgary's up to 19, which is good because the Sharks outshot the Flames 15-6 in the first period.
Yeah, and Flames have played their game a whole lot better in this second period compared to the first.
Nothing to show for it, though. Here's Ball with a shot knocked down by Wenberg, and now Thrun will pick the puck up, skate it out to center, and bounce it off Ball sticking into the Flames zone. Ball gets there first and banks it off the end boards to Anderson from the near corner. Settle down the bouncing puck, take a look at the clock, and set up the breakout. Anderson crosses his blue line, gets to the red line, and fires it in behind Romanov's net. Puck bounces back to the left point. Hanley holds it in, and now dumps it in behind the net, and Sharon Govich will go after it. He's beaten there by Carlson, who clears it out. And now Eklund tries to dump it in. Eklund knocks it down to the Flames blue line, and the Flames captain back it up to Hanley. Now Hanley will make a short pass to Weegar, crosses his blue line, and now the red line, and now the Sharks blue line. Weegar in, shoots, is stopped, rebound, and Coleman fires it high and wide of the net. Puck held in right point by Backlund. Backlund able to get by Wenberg. Backlund takes it in behind Romanov's net, turns into the far corner and plays it left point to Hanley. Hanley across the line to Weegar, high slot to Backlund. Backlund back to Weegar. Weegar shoots, that puck pinballs away and ends up in the near corner. Now Coronado, as he's hit by Ruda, slides it far side to Hanley. Flames are pressing, trying to take a 3-2 lead before the end of the second. Here's Weegar to Backlund. Backlund stops, falls, and on one knee gets back up, picks up the puck, and throws it in front. Coleman a shot, and Romanov makes the save. But what a play by Michael Backlund to create that scoring chance.
Hard-working shift from Backlund, Coronado, Coleman, and then Hanley and Weegar at the blue lines. We're going to take a break with 31 seconds to go, but that was a very hard-working shift from that five-man unit.
Starting to see some urgency from the Flames in the final few minutes of this second period. And we'll see if they can get one before the end of 40. 31.1 seconds to play in the second. The Flames and the Sharks are tied at 2. And this is Calgary Flames Hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames Hockey. Brought to you by Alberta Ford Dealers and Shane Holmes. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know, Alberta's a special place. From the Rockies to the Plains, it's a land of hard work and big dreams. If you're going to tackle it all, you need a truck that can keep up. That's why I can't say enough about my Ford F-150. It's more than a truck. It's a partner. Rugged toughness, serious capability, and smart features that make your life easier. Like available Pro Power Onboard. The Ford F-150. Get yours today at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
Looking for a home with a little more excitement? Are you in the mood to move? Homes by Avi's Quickies are designed to get you moving fast. Right now, choose from over 20 quick possession homes, packed with all 6 new appliances, washer, dryer, fridge, and more. You also get stylish window blinds, a moving concierge service, and a gorgeous landscaping allowance. Woo! Ready to jump in? Visit homesbyavi.com/quickies. Homes by Avi, built for you, designed for quickies.
You're listening to Calgary Flames Hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
If you have any nails left, it might be time to bite them. 2-2 Flames and Sharks tied late in the second period here at the Saddle Dome. We thank you for tuning in to Calgary Flames Hockey here on Sportsnet 960, The Fan. I'm Derek Wills alongside Pat Steinberg, who's in for Megan Mickelson, who is on assignment in New York. Thanks to the rest of our broadcast crew, including our host, Logan Gordon, reporter Matt Rose, in-arena board operator Tim Khalil, in-studio board op Azam Ali Nanji, and our broadcast engineer Matt Jakusko. Face off to Romanov's right with a scramble drop. The puck's picked up by Liljegren, who lifts it off the glass and to the Flames blue line. Here's Weegar, ahead to Klapka. He loses it. Huberdeau finds it, bounces it off of Celebrini's stick, and the puck deflects over the glass and into the netting.
Gotta say, with what we've seen tonight and what we've seen recently from Kadri, Huberdeau being back together for the last 7 or 8 games, and then putting Klapka with them, I think that this is something that I'm excited to watch finish out the season as Klapka really gets closer and closer to coming into his own here.
And it doesn't really feel like they have another option, does it? Martin Pospisil has not been himself of late. So Weegar with a slap shot off the tip of Romanov's trapper. Now Kadri spins and centers. Pass misses Huberdeau, but Weegar will pick it up and knock it in front of the net. But Klapka can't corral it. And now the Sharks are just going to kill the clock as Klapka gets all tangled up with Toffoli. There's the horn that signals the end of the second period here at Scotiabank Saddledome. And oh boy, it's got to be feeling a little nerve-wracking for the Flames and for their fans. Mathematically, they need 1 point to stay alive in their fight for a Stanley Cup playoff spot. Realistically, they need 2. They are 5 points behind the Wild, who sit in the first wild card spot in the Western Conference, and 4 points behind the Blues, who are in the second wild card spot in the West. They've got 2 games in hand on both of those teams, but they're playing one of them right now, so they can get to within 3 of the Wild and to within 2 of the Blues, but they need 2 points tonight versus the Sharks. And Pat, we've got a 2-2 hockey game through 2 periods of play.
Okay, look, this is the NHL, and the Sharks are paid to play too. And they want to snap this losing skid. They don't want to go into the offseason with a long losing skid, so they're playing hard, and they're full marks for being in a tie game. The Flames look like they know their season's on the line. The Flames look a whole lot more tight. They look a whole lot more tentative than they did Friday in that must-win game against Minnesota. And here's the, if you're the Flames, you're inside that room right now. It's, hey, we got to go out, win a period and save our season, lose a period and your season's over. So if you're the Flames, if you don't win this period and at the very least draw even, you're facing elimination. So we've got to see Calgary come out, and I think that they did a whole lot more of it in the second period and just carry that over into the third, but we need to see them play a very urgent final 20 tonight.
Well, the funny thing is, I think the Flames were a lot better in the second period than they were in the first period, but they had a 2-1 lead through 20, and it's 2-2 following 40. For example, shots on goal in the first period, San Jose had 15 and Calgary had 6. But in the second period, the Flames had 16 shots for a 2-period total of 22, and the Sharks only had 5 for a 40-minute total of 20, but the visitors scored the only goal. It's a strange sport. Taking a look at the special teams battle, the Flames have had the only 2 power plays of the hockey game. They are 0 for 2 on the power play, built by Holmes by Avi, but you got to give them credit. They've been a really disciplined team really since St. Patrick's Day when they went 0 for 3 on the penalty kill in a 6-2 loss to the Maple Leafs. No power plays for the Sharks tonight, at least not so far, which means no Flames penalty kills for the Flames, but when they are shorthanded, their penalty kill is powered by Wolf Calgary. The wait is over. Canada's newest Chevrolet GMC Buick dealership is now open with grand opening sales and savings of up to $12,500. Visit Wolf Calgary at 756 101 Street Southwest, just off of Stony Trail and Old Banff Coach Road. Well, it feels like I've been saying this a lot of late, but stay tuned for what's the biggest period so far this season for the Flames. They have to have 2 points tonight, and they've got a fight on their hands. The Sharks and the Flames tied at 2 through 2. Looking forward to the third, but before that, let's send it over to Logan Gordon. He's got our Prairie Honda second intermission.
All right, it's Logan Gordon and Matty Rose along with you here in the Peter Maher broadcast booth. And your second intermission is brought to you by Prairie Honda. Need more power and efficiency in your lineup? Meet the 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid with rates from 2.99%. Visit prairiehonda.ca. That's how the NHL goes sometimes. Matt thought the Flames were better in the second than they were in the first, but now we're tied instead of the Flames being up by 1.
That is the National Hockey League. It's the beauty of the sport, isn't there's a lot of chaos involved with this one. And sure enough, the Flames were kind of running the show early on in the period. They were playing some pretty good hockey, but you get one chance the other way, and it finds the back of the net. It's not even the best chance. It's kind of off of a fluke, right? Blake Coleman goes out to block a shot. and his stick explodes on him, and Jan Ruda decides to attack, smartly so, because, at that point it had become a 5-on-4 with Coleman racing to the bench to try and get a puck, and William Eklund makes an unbelievable pass off that. He's right in front of the crease. The pass on the wall is to him. You think he's probably going to deflect it on net, but instead he does a little kind of hook deflection back into the slot where Jan Ruda is just waiting to kind of hammer that one home. Flames got a couple of chances late in the third period, but Romanov made a couple of nice stops too, as that's kind of been the one thing here, is that even when the Flames have been pushing, Jan Ruda has been able to make a couple of key stops.
Adam Klapka, to me, looks more
Romanov,
and more...
excuse me.
Adam Klapka looks more and more comfortable to me with Kadri and Huberdeau as the games go on. Are you starting to see that too?
I thought he was really, really effective for the entire 40 minutes that we've seen him here tonight. He makes that mistake to give the 4-1 goal up against the Minnesota Wild, and you knew that was kind of bothering him a little bit, but in this one, he continues to be on the top line. Ryan Huska doesn't stray away from that, and he just continues to chip away. Like, one of the things that continues to be impressive about him is the way that he can kind of separate or catch up with players using the speed and those really long strides that he has. He had a couple of points back in the first period on some smart plays, moving the puck around. Sometimes the big man turning, he'll catch an edge or he'll run into the net like he did in that period and kind of lost his footing. But he creates a certain amount of chaos that you really like to see on that line, right? Nazem Kadri is one of the guys that, he can get on the forecheck and he can win his battles. But if you have somebody else that can kind of go and do a lot of the dirty work for him, it allows Kadri to find the sweet spots in the offensive zone to create some really good scoring chances. And Adam Klapka has been pretty solid at doing that, just kind of trying to find a role. We talked about him before, but he's one of those guys that just, you can tell he just loves every part about being in the NHL right now. And he's getting an opportunity to play up on that top line, and he's played top line for sure down in the AHL, but this is certainly a little bit different for him. He's been doing it very well so far here tonight against a Sharks team that certainly doesn't have a lot of talent compared to some other clubs around the NHL.
Well, speaking of that Sharks team, I want to give some credit to the San Jose Sharks here, Matty. They're not going away. They haven't for the last week or so, and here they are again. Their season's been long over. They're putting up a good fight tonight.
They've clinched last place in the entire NHL. They are going to have the best draft lottery odds when that gets going during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Typically in round 2, I believe, is when they end up doing the draft lottery. And here they are fighting away. They played in that bananas game against the Minnesota Wild that ended, 7-6, 8-7 in overtime, where it just, you couldn't believe how the Sharks just wouldn't give up on that game, and we're seeing it here again tonight. And listen, they've got some kind of grocery stick type of guys, a couple of plugs down the lineup, but for the most part, this is a group that's kind of leaning on some young talent that's going to carry them down the road, right? There's the obvious ones, Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini, but tonight you got a guy like Henry Thrun. He was a member of Matt Coronato's Harvard team. Thomas Bordeleau is a former first-round pick. Jack Thompson is a high pick. Zach Ostapchuk was a high second-rounder that they acquired from Ottawa at the trade deadline. William Eklund was basically like the most exciting part of this team last season before Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini showed up this year. So it's a really young team. Even Romanov between the pipes is a really young player, right? And they're enjoying every moment of this NHL season and kind of learning as much as they can. They're not really in competitive games as far as fighting for anything, but they're still just a bit of a thorn in the side as teams go out here and try and get some key points. They've been trying to play spoiler to their best abilities as the season winds down.
Expecting to see a desperate Flames team in the third map.
Well, we better, because if not, you may as well fold up the tent and go on home, because you really need the points here, and it's not going to get any easier after this Sharks team. Like we said, they're the worst team in the NHL this year. Up next, you got Vegas, and that'll follow up with a trip to LA, where LA's been one of the best teams in the NHL, if not the best team at home in the NHL. So it's not going to get any easier. These were the gimme points today, and it just has not been as connected, directed, and kind of intense as you really need this Flames team to be. But you still have an opportunity to go out and get yourself a couple of key points in this third period. We've seen the Sharks give up third period leads plenty of times.
Last one for you. I know it's been a tough season for him in the plus-minus category. Both Rasmus Andersson and Kevin Ball -2 in this game.
Yeah. It continues to be a hard season for those.
And we know
two
he's battling. We know Ras is battling through something right now.
Yeah, and that's a tough one too, right? Like, Jan Ruda's the guy who scores. That's the point man coming in, and there's a battle there where William Eklund makes that real nice play to get it to Jan Ruda on the second goal, but at the same time, you kind of need a little bit more help from your forwards as well. You know, I wouldn't hang it all on those guys, but
no, but
man, it's been
to be that way some nights, right?
And you know, through the first half of the season, as much as Rasmus Andersson really his best hockey came in the first 2 months of the year, but they were playing some strong defensive hockey for the first few months of the year, even when the points weren't necessarily coming. Like, Kevin Ball was one of the more impressive kind of surprises through the first 3 or 4 months of the year, and just as it's kind of gone on here, especially since the Four Nations break, feels like every time there's a breakdown, those guys are out there and hanging their heads or breaking their stick on the posts or whatever it may be, because they just can't seem to kind of get any sort of bounces, and they're just not kind of playing up to snuff in the defensive zone. So it's been real frustrating. Those minuses are going to go away at the end of the regular season here, but it's one of those things that it's almost kind of hard to explain.
He's Matty Rose. I'm Logan Gordon. We're in the Peter Maher broadcast booth. Flames and Sharks tied at 2 after 40 minutes. The Peter Maher broadcast booth brought to you by South Point Toyota. The Get In and Go event is on now with the best inventory and the best interest rates of the year, as low as 0% under the tower at South Point Toyota. This is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Wolf Cadillac and Alpine Credits. Sportsnet 960, The Fan. Big news, Calgary. The wait is over. Canada's newest Chevrolet Buick GMC dealership is now open. Find Wolf Calgary at 756 101st Street Southwest, just off Stony Trail and Old Banff Coach Road. Experience Canada's newest Chevy Buick GMC dealership with over 40 service bays, plus standalone Cadillac dealership with concierge service. Be among the first to explore Wolf Calgary's state-of-the-art showrooms. Visit them in person or online at wolfcadillacCalgary.com.
It's always beautiful outside with Green Drop. Hi, I'm Peter Maher. Calgary owned and operated since 1979, Green Drop knows what it takes to maintain a green, weed-free lawn in our unique climate. Green Drop's friendly, knowledgeable greenskeepers will help you create a space where friends and family can get together and enjoy the outside year-round. With Green Drop, the convenience and results are unmatched. 3 lawn care packages are available. Choose the perfect one for you. Visit greendrop.com.
Give me a P. Give me an O. Give me an L. Give me a Y. Give me a B. What's that spell? Polly B. Where do we want it?
As far away as possible.
Not in my house.
Who would want that?
If you have gray pipes in your home, it could be Poly B, which is prone to leaks and bursts. Canyon Plumbing and Heating specializes in Poly B removal and replacement. Call them for a free site assessment and accurate quote for your project. Learn more at canyonplumbing.com.
The sun is shining, and the open road is calling. The perfect time to spring into Audi at Glenmore Audi. Get up to $2,000 in stackable cash. Rates from 0% on in-stock 2025 Audi Q5s and complimentary Audi care on all vehicles. Don't just welcome spring. Arrive in style. Elevate your drive at Glenmore Audi. Offer ends April 30th. Visit glenmoreaudi.com.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Canyon Plumbing and Heating and South Point Toyota. Sportsnet 960, The Fan. Breaking down the game after 2 periods. You're locked on Flames Talk at the intermission with Pat Steinberg. Sportsnet 960, The Fan, Calgary.
All right, it's Logan Gordon along with you. Flames and Sharks tied at 2 after 40 minutes here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Make sure you stay with us for tonight's post-game show for the save of the game, brought to you by Shane Holmes. For every save a Flames goaltender makes, Shane Holmes donates $5 to Kid Sport Calgary. Visit ShaneHolmes.com. The better way to build. Well, a better period for the Calgary Flames in the second than it was in the first. Unfortunately, the only goal of the second period belongs to the San Jose Sharks.
Foley will back it up to the blue line to Ruda. Ruda with a shot blocked by Coleman, who breaks his stick. As the puck comes free for Toffoli, who shoots, it's loose, and Ruda scores. Jan Ruda sneaks in and backhands the rebound by Dustin Wolf, and the Sharks tie the game at 2.
Jan Ruda, his third of the year from Eklund and Toffoli. Toffoli, the former Flame, with a goal and an assist less than 5 minutes into period 2, and this would be the only goal of the second frame. Flames and Sharks now head into a third period tied at 2. Shots on goal throughout this game have remained close thanks to a better second period from the Calgary Flames than it was in the first. Right now you're looking at a shot total through 40 minutes here at the Scotiabank Saddledome that favors Calgary, thanks to 16 shots in the second period to just 5 for San Jose. Faceoffs almost even today as well. Flames 54.8%, while the Sharks come in at 45.2% heading into the third period. Quick out-of-town scoreboard for you before we head it off to the third period. Out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by your Alberta Ford dealers. You can lease a 2025 F-150 STX with the Black Appearance Package during the Ford It's a Big Deal event. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details. Jays over the Orioles 7-6 in extra innings today. Every other NHL game that's got going today has gone final. Oilers 4, Jets 1. Capitals lose to the Blue Jackets 4-1. Tampa 7-4 over Buffalo. Leafs 4, Hurricanes 1. Same score for the Bruins over the Penguins. Flyers fall to the Sens 4-3 in overtime. And it's the New Jersey Devils losing 1-0 to the New York Islanders. Still to come, 8 o'clock puck drop in Anaheim between the Avs and the Ducks. And a congratulations to Rory McIlroy, your 2025 Masters champion. Well, the biggest period of the season is up next for the Calgary Flames. They need to find a way to pick up 2 points. They got 20 minutes to do so here at the Dome. Your out-of-town scoreboard was brought to you by your Alberta Ford dealers, and your second intermission was brought to you by Prairie Honda. Pat Steinberg and Derek Wills on the other side. Calgary Flames hockey is here on Sportsnet 960 The Fan.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Homes by Abbey and Country Hills Ford. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
When you choose Motorworks, you know you're getting the best service for your BMW. But did you know they also work on minis in their state-of-the-art facility? Always meeting or beating competitors' quotes. Motorworks, exceeding all expectations on 51st Ave and 3rd Street Southeast.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom! Wha-bam! Pow! Zap! Turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Choose Motorworks for your BMW and Mini. With their state-of-the-art facility, they offer the latest tools and software, plus they meet or beat all competitors' quotes by 15%. Motorworks, exceeding all expectations on 51st Ave and 3rd Street Southeast.
It's game time. You're listening to Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Weird one here at Scotiabank Saddledome on this Sunday evening. The Flames were not good in the first period, especially in the first half of the first period, but had a 2-1 lead through 20 minutes. They were much better in the second period, but the Sharks scored the only goal, and it is 2-2 following 40 minutes. Derek Wills alongside Pat Steinberg. The good news is the Flames have been a good third period team. They are 9-2-4 when tied through 2 periods of play this season. The Sharks not so much, 6-9-2 when even following 40 minutes, but a lot more on the line for the Flames than the Sharks. I mean, there's nothing on the line for the Sharks other than them relishing the role of playing spoiler. But what do you need to see from the Flames in the third period, Pat, as they try to save their season here?
Desperation, but execution, and they do need to save their season. They don't win this period, or specifically if they lose this period, it's curtains on their playoff hopes.
Well, in this third period, the Flames with their home red jerseys on are moving from right to left on your radios. The Sharks with their road whites from left to right. As Wenberg coughs the puck up, Klapka, who has his second career 2-point game, will pick it up and drop it off to Hanley. And both teams will start to change 30 seconds into the third period. Weegar will skate it across his blue line and miss Coronado and back over the pass with Coleman. Gets in there with a forecheck for the Flames and knocks it in behind the Sharks net. Squirts out in front, and Celebrini lifted off the glass and ahead to Smith, who catches up to it. Smith has his pass broken up by Hanley, and now Coronado will pick the puck up and give it to the captain, Backlund, who crosses the red line. And now the Sharks' blue line, Backlund with a backhand, and it's fought off awkwardly by Romanov. Now Celebrini will clear it out, and Bahal will give it to Coleman, who skates it back in and flips it into the far corner. Carlson slips it near side to Ruda, who sends it out to center to Kovalenko. They'll drop it back to Ruda, who scored the game-tying goal. And now Carlson will bounce it off Sharon Govic's stick and in as both teams start to change again. Bahal will skate it to his blue line and fire a pass that misses Frost. Sharon Govic grabs it. Sharon Govic shoots and scores! What a shot by Sharky! Yegor Sharangovich scores for a third straight game, and the 100th goal of his NHL career gives the Flames a 3-2 lead.
Just real simple execution here. Flames put a puck in deep. Sharks couldn't handle it. It bounces around, and Sharangovich kicks it to Morgan Frost, who leaves it right for Sharangovich, who is all alone just to the right of the slot, and has his third goal in as many games. So 90 seconds in, that's exactly what the Flames needed. I did not like the start. They looked a tentative start to the third period, but a bouncing puck, and you just get it deep and keep it simple. You can get one past the goal.
NHL goal scored by number 17, Yegor Sharangovich. That's to number 16, Morgan Frost. And to number 94, Braden Pahal. Top of the goal, 130.
Fitting that Sharky scores the go-ahead goal against the Sharks, Pat.
See what you did there. See what you did there. And for Sharangovich, you know, it's funny. We were talking a couple days ago on one of our Daily Flames roundtables about how unlikely Sharangovich gets to 20 goals this year. Well, he's at 16. 2 more games to go, plus 18 minutes of this period. I mean, outside shot, but could he make it a third career 20-goal season? Not completely out of the question with him finally being able to pick it up here in the backstretch of the season.
That's what I mean. Yegor Sharangovich has had a horrible season, especially coming off a season when he had a career-high 31 goals to lead the team and a career-high 59 points to finish second, but he's still been relatively productive given his struggles. Not a lot of guys have that shot. Here's Hanley with a slap shot, and it's gloved by Romanov, and he'll hold on. Well, good start to the third period for the Flames, despite the fact that they did look tentative to get it going, but they find a way to get the go-ahead goal. We'll see if they can hold this lead, or better yet, build on it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the important thing now is, okay, you've got the early lead, but you got to avoid going back to playing that tight, tentative brand of hockey that we've seen at different times throughout the first 43 minutes here. So, yeah, just build on it and keep on hemming the Sharks in, which we saw much more of from Calgary in the second period.
Here's Grundstrom. Cuts to the middle of the ice, crosses his blue line, and slides the right wing side to Ruda. And he'll backhand it in behind Wolf's net. Flames rookie goalie gives it to Anderson. Fires it up the far side to Farabee. Farabee with a hard pass that sails past Lomberg, and the puck ends up behind the Sharks' net. Rooney and Farabee in there on the forecheck. Farabee just took a punch in the face from Grundstrom right in front of the referee, and there's no penalty call. Farabee hurt as he heads to the Flames bench.
Been tough to get a call tonight.
Flames have had the only 2 power plays. Here comes Klapka off the left wing side. He stops and tries to drop, but his pass is broken up by Wenberg, and now it's picked up by Bordelot, and he'll dump it in. Yeah, that'll be an icing call. Thomas Bordeleau is the grandson of Paul, who played 3 seasons in the NHL, all with the Canucks, and the son of Sebastian, who spent parts of 7 seasons in the league with the Canadiens, Predators, Wild, and Coyotes.
Needed to get past center to avoid an icing there. Did not do that. Just watching Farabee and Grundstrom, and kind of just
a stick.
Yeah, kind of a high stick or maybe an incidental shoulder. Farabee's already taken a high stick in this game to draw one of Calgary's 2 power plays, so it's paying the price tonight, even if not intentionally.
He was already a pretty frustrated player, Pat. It just hasn't been easy for him. But he keeps fighting through it. Huberdeau across the Sharks line. Huberdeau stick handles it and drops. Klopka shoots, and that shot gets blocked. And Anderson is pushed off the puck by Toffoli as Wenberg scoops it up and skates it out. Wenberg, right wing side to Eklund. Spin around to protect the puck from ball to drop it. Ruda with a slap shot. A 91.9 mile-an-hour blast, which is stopped by Wolf.
Ruda already with a goal here tonight and forces the offensive zone face-off for San Jose. But one of the players that we talk about Will Smith, we talk about Macklin Celebrini, kind of that third guy in the youth movement for San Jose on top of Askarov, the goaltender, is William Eklund. Does a nice job curling back and pushing it back to Ruda on that play, and that allows Ruda to step into the slap shot. Nice stop by Dustin Wolf.
Face off to Wolf's left. Kadri wins that defensive zone draw to ball. He'll skip the puck to the Sharks' blue line. Carlson corrals it, spins back and leaves it behind for Ruda. Bounces it off to Foley, stick to the Flames line no further. His ball gives it to Klopka, and he'll backhand it in from center. Romanov bobbles it. Kadri gets in there on the forecheck and steals it and centers it, but his pass is intercepted by Toffoli, who stick handles around Coleman and works it up the left wing side to Eklund. William Eklund, the 7th overall pick in 2021. In there on the forecheck, along with the former Flame Toffoli. As Weegar grabs it but doesn't clear it, Vlasic holds it in left point, rips it across to Thompson, and he'll dump it in behind Wolf's net again. Eklund, after it in the near quarter, is beaten there by Coleman. Coleman's been playing some really good hockey. Going to stretch his point streak to 5 games tonight. Hanley will start the breakout. Hanley glides to his blue line and makes a hard pass that goes off Coleman's stick. It deflects in behind the Sharks' net. Vlasic back to get it. Bounce it up the near boards to Smith. He slides it ahead to Kovalenko. Kovalenko was wide on Anderson. Stops. Protects the puck as the Sharks change. Kovalenko behind the net looking for Celebrini. Celebrini has his stick chopped in half by Coleman. And we've got a Flames penalty call coming up.
Said it was tough to draw a penalty in this game, and it's kind of taken either getting a stick to the mush or snapping a stick in half to draw one. San Jose's going to get their first power play here as Celebrini goes behind the net and Coleman kind of axes down. Definitely unintentional. It was a puck battle, but I don't know, about 99 times out of 100, if you're going to snap another guy's stick, the official's going to call a slashing call. It may not always, it's kind of frustrating. It's one of those ones that you're like, oh, that's not really all that much of a slash, but we're calling that, but we're missing this one or that one. But Flames would probably do a penalty as they hadn't taken one so far, so a big kill here up 3-2.
Flames head to a Wolf Cadillac Calgary penalty kill as the Sharks win the draw. Carlson takes a shot, makes a pass to Eklund. Eklund bumped by Rooney. He'll protect the puck and drop it back to the blue line to Carlson. Carlson back to Eklund. Behind his back to Carlson with a one-timer. Stick aside by Wolf. Bouncing puck in front to Foley. A backhand, and Wolf reaches out and gets his glove on the puck and freezes it for a face-off.
And he was trying to move that puck too.
On the power play this season, the Sharks have struggled. They're at 18.7%. That is 24th. And they've really struggled of late, Pat. Just 1 for 15 in their last 7 games. On the penalty kill, the Flames have been steadily improving both with their discipline and their penalty killing. They're up to 75.8%. That is 26th. And listen to this. 15 for 16 with 1 shorthanded goal for in their last 9 games. And they've broken even over that stretch. Eklund off the boards and back to the left point. Carlson near side to Celebrini with a one-timer off Weegar's stick, and it deflects just wide. And now it ricochets in front to Foley. Robbed! What a save by Wolf!
That puck took a very strange bounce and was laying right on top of the crease for Tyler Toffoli, who was right on top of it, and Dustin Wolf out of desperation just moved left to right. It took a carom off the end boards. Wolf didn't even know where it was, and Tyler Toffoli's looking skyward because he shot it right into the goalie. Now, Wolf did have to still move left to right and make it a little difficult on him, but Toffoli is going to be kicking himself on that one.
Starts with an offensive zone draw. Carlson, far side to Eklund. Eklund bouncing off the boards back to the left point to Carlson. Carlson returns it to Eklund. Eklund, the far circle spins and drops Carlson. Near side to Celebrini with a one-timer wide of Wolf's net. And Anderson will blast it off the glass and down the ice. Flames had talked, or Pat had talked about the Flames improving penalty kill. They have an NHL high 87.8 penalty kill percentage since the start of March.
Yep, and Dustin Wolf has been a huge part of that, especially lately.
The biggest part of that. So the Brainy will bank it off the end boards, near side to Toffoli. 40 seconds remaining in the Coleman minor, and now a giveaway and a possible 2-on-1. Here comes Huberdeau. Huberdeau in, shoots, is stopped, big rebound, and Romanov is able to squeeze the puck with his glove and get a face-off.
Miscue in the offensive end for San Jose leads to that 2-on-1 the other way, and a big stop by Romanov. San Jose worked it around nicely. Celebrini got his one-timer off, but it was blocked, and then it was Celebrini who tried to make the pass back to the point. He healed it and put it right onto Huberdeau's stick. Sharks did a nice job of taking away Rooney as the passing option and forced Huberdeau to shoot. He tried to go 7-hole, kind of under the armpit, blocker side on Romanov, but Romanov makes a big stop to keep it a one-goal game.
Sharks win a defensive zone draw with 30 seconds left in their power play. Liljegren, who used to be called Liljegren, decided to change the pronunciation of his name when he went from Toronto to San Jose. Let the Sharks get it in deep. Morneau pokes it into the far corner looking for Smith. He finds the puck and backs it up to the blue line to Liljegren. Slides it far side to Smith. Smith, stick handles by Backlund and shoots. That shot gets blocked by Anderson, who takes another one for the team, and Ball clears the puck down the ice.
Boy, Will Smith has got a lot of work to do from the offensive blue line back, but when he is in there, he is as dynamic as they come.
Yeah, they've got a pretty scary young combo there with him and Macklin Celebrini, don't they?
Don't forget Eklund. He's going to be a really good player, too.
Now, Adam Klopka gets hauled down. The Flames want a penalty call, but aren't going to get one. Uyghur raised his right arm, but neither referee did. Puck is cleared to the Flames blue line. Here's Hanlon. Ahead to Huberdeau. Huberdeau swings it up the right wing side to Klopka, but the Flames are called offside at the Sharks blue line, and we'll take a break with 12 minutes and 44 seconds to play in the third period here at Scotiabank Saddledome. It's a do-or-die game for the Flames. Mathematically, they need 1 point to stay alive. Realistically, they need 2, and they've been squeezing their sticks at times tonight, but they've got their second lead of this hockey game. Yegor Sharangovich has scored for a third consecutive contest. The 100th goal of his National Hockey League career is the difference right now. It's the Flames 3 and the Sharks 2, and this is Calgary Flames Hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames Hockey. Brought to you by Country Hills Toyota and Green Drop. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
The sounds of summer. Going camping. Hanging out at the lake. And you getting your sticky butt off that couch. Visit Canyon Plumbing and Heating to find the right Goodman air conditioner for your home before summer hits. Because, oh man, you're going to need it. Visit their 8,000 square foot showroom at 114 Ave Southeast.
Hey folks, Paul Brandt here. Around these parts, we work hard, play hard, and we demand the best. Sometimes you need a truck that's a cut above. The Ford Super Duty. Tough enough for any job with the style and luxury you deserve. It's as powerful as it is refined, with cutting-edge features that make every drive a pleasure. In short, this ain't your everyday pickup. The Ford Super Duty. Drive the finest truck Alberta has to offer today at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PV sent you.
You're listening to Calgary Flames Hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Well, I think we know what it's going to be, but following tonight's game, stay tuned for the Shane Holmes save of the game. For every save a Flames goalie makes, Shane Holmes donates $5 to Kids Sport Calgary. For details, visit ShaneHolmes.com. Shane Holmes, the better way to build. And yeah, that stop on Tyler Toffoli on San Jose's power play, that is your early candidate for save of the game tonight.
Maybe saved the Flames season. Coleman will knock the puck out. Kovalenko picks it up and gets taken down by Coleman as Uyghur will grab it. Uyghur walks in and shoots and fires it right over top of Romanov's net. Here's Hanley, near corner to Coronado. Coronado battling with Liljegren. Boots the puck into the far corner to Backlund. Backlund, short pass to Coleman, who slides it right point to Uyghur. And he'll give it to Backlund. Backlund being pressured. Moves it far corner to Coronado, who will take it up high and gets taken down by Liljegren. And again, there's no penalty call. Coronado looks right back at the referee Sandlak, but does not raise his right arm. Comes Coleman in. Fires it in front, but his pass is intercepted by Toffoli, who lifts it almost off the Sportsnet scoreboard here at Scotiabank Saddledome. Doesn't hit that, but does slide down the ice, and that'll be an icing call on the Sharks with 11:48 left in the third period. Coming to you from the Peter Maher Radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota. The Get In and Go event is on now at South Point Toyota. For the best inventory and the best interest rates of the year, as low as 0%, visit my friends under the tower at South Point Toyota.
It is hard to get a call tonight. There's been lots of things on both sides. The refs have turned a little bit of a blind eye. The playoffs start in less than a week, so maybe they're getting into playoff mode.
I was just going to ask you that, Pat. Sometimes the league will send a memo to its officials and say, hey, we want to start to set the tone for how we're going to call games come the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I'm wondering if that has maybe happened, because it's not the first game of late that it's been hard to get a call in.
Well, and we know that in the NHL, it's maybe the of all the four professional leagues in North America, that the standard of officiating changes dramatically from regular season to the postseason. So, yeah, maybe we're starting to see it already.
Sometimes it changes from minute to minute. Puck back to the left point to Ball. Ball slides the top of the near circle to Huberdeau. Tries to get it back to Ball, but that pass is broken up by Toffoli. And the Flames will have to chase it back into their own territory. Sharks are changing as Anderson slides it out to center to Kadri. Kadri accepts that pass and tries to make one to Huberdeau, but it's intercepted by Wenberg, who gets it out. Flames will push it back in. Huberdeau, it's knocked off the puck by Thrun. Huberdeau, after it outside the Sharks bench, will win a fight for the puck and drop it to Bean across the center and shoots it back in. You don't want to see the Flames play the prevent defense, because generally that just prevents you from winning. But I do like them playing a simple, smart game, Pat. Get pucks out, get pucks in.
Yeah, that's especially with a team that's got quick strike ability like the Sharks. You'll take that with your season on the line.
Bean gets it in deep. Romanov will leave it for Carlson, who banks it off the end boards to Ruda. He'll slap it up the near side, not out. Bean holds it in and shoots off Frost's stick and wide to the far corner. Carlson gets to it first and moves it to Eklund. He'll bounce it into the Flames zone. Bean back to get it. We'll leave it behind for Frost as both teams change. As we approach the 10-minute mark of the third period here at Scotiabank Saddledome, in what is a must-win game for the Flames to keep their Stanley Cup playoff hopes alive, and they lead the Sharks 3-2. If this score holds, Pat, it'll be the third straight 3-2 game between these two teams.
Hey, give the Sharks credit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they're going to be the number one lottery team again, but they are giving teams all they can handle right now and making it very difficult to beat them.
Yeah, sitting last overall, they've got a 25.5% to win the lottery for a second straight season. Flames get the puck in deep. Got a battle for it beyond the Sharks' net. Grundstrom will grab it and saucer it ahead to Dellandrea. He gets to the red line and softly floats it into the Flame zone. The wave up icing. Hanley didn't expect that. He gets hammered by Grundstrom. That's a bad washout by the officials, Pat. You can get a player hurt by doing that.
Super late, yep.
And now here's Hanley. The stick handle to his blue line. And now slide it ahead to Backlund, who crosses the Sharks line and feeds Coronado, who centers it off the skate of Thrun. And Romanov has to make a save at his own player. And we'll take a break with 9:20 remaining in regulation time here at Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary. It is the second to last home game of the regular season and the third to last game period for the Flames in 2024-2025, unless they do it only one other team in National Hockey League history has done, and that is qualify for the Stanley Cup playoffs when 5 points behind with 4 games to go. That was the 1968-1969 Maple Leafs that did that. Will the Flames do it again? Well, they're trying to take a step in the right direction tonight, and they lead the Sharks 3-2. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames hockey. Brought to you by Glenmore Audi and Equus. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
We are Canadian, eh? Let's get in the garden with Spruce It Up. Seeds and grower supplies and starter plants are now in. We have houseplants, new pots, and home decor. Time to spruce up the yard, eh? Call our landscape design team to get your outdoor space ready for summer. Call our team at Prune It Up, as spring is a great time to prune your trees and shrubs. Want the greenest grass on the block? Call now to book your Green It Up lawn fertilizer. Spruce it up, green it up, prune it up. We got you covered.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with a range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. In stock now with rates from 2.99%. Visit prairiehonda.ca for details.
You're listening to Calgary Flames hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Sharkey with the go-ahead goal in this game against the Sharks. Flames with a 3-2 lead with 9:20 to play in the third period. Face off to Romanov's left. The Flames win it. Right point to Uyghur. Bounces it off. Backlund sticking in behind the net. Bowman in there fighting for it. Kicks it free for Coronado. Coronado with a sharp angle shot off Thrun stick and wide of the net. Now Backlund will grab it and feed it in front. Coronado scores! Matt Coronado one-times the puck past Georgi Romanov. He stretches his point streak to a career-long 5 games and gives the Flames a little bit of breathing room. They've got a 4-2 lead.
Nice cycle work by the Backlund, Coleman, Coronado line, and Coronado gets free and is able to get to the middle. He gets past Kovalenko, takes his pass off his skate as Backlund threw it into the slot, kicks it to his stick, and beats Romanov for a big one. That's a third game in recent memory where Coronado has scored a big insurance goal. He did it against San Jose, he did it against Anaheim, and he does it again against San Jose tonight.
1:25 now, Patty.
Matt Coronado! Assist number 11, Michael Backlund. And to number 20, Blake Coleman. Top of the goal, 10:55.
Sharks trying to get that goal back now. Good bump-up shift for them as Wenberg has his stick lifted and the puck stolen by Anderson. Kadri will collect it in the far corner and leave it in behind the net for ball. He banks it off the boards and off of Huberto's stick and out to center ice. Wenberg will pick it up, walking it up the left wing side. Wenberg wrapped up from behind by Kadri, spins away from him and slides a left point to Thompson. Thompson back to Wenberg, now far circle to Eklund. Eklund, a sharp angle shot, stopped by Wolf, big rebound, but the puck's picked up by Kadri, and Flames leader in goals and points gets tackled by Ruda, and I thought we were going to have a penalty call, but nope, just an offside call on the Sharks.
Yep, they deemed that just a battle with Kadri, so no penalty called there. And yeah, it's been difficult to get calls so far tonight. I give the Flames a lot of credit for, again, their season on the line. They go out there, score a couple goals here in the third period with a little bit of breathing room now. I also give the Sharks a ton of credit because they have decided not to go away in this one, and it would be really easy for a team losses in 8 straight, and their season coming to an end, to go away, but they're working hard right to the finish here.
Vlasic will pick it up in behind his net, whip it up the near boards, not out, but Bordelot is able to clear it out to center. Pospisil fires it up the far side where it's scooped up by Vlasic. He'll shoot it in. Bean battling with Brunstrom in the near quarter. Pakal comes in to help out. Bean will scoop up the loose puck and bounce it off the boards and out. Juranovic can't corral it at center, and now Bordelot gets tripped up at the red line. No call against the Flames, and both teams are having a tough time drawing penalties tonight. Flames will get it in deep. Both teams are changing with 7.5 to play in the third. And Calgary out in front of San Jose, 4-2. First time it's been a 2-goal game. Here's Weegar, ahead to Farabee, who crosses the red line. Now the Sharks' blue line and chips it in, and Rooney will chase it. Rooney hits Liljegren along the end boards. It's a 4-man fight for the puck in the far corner. He pops out of that pile. Farabee tries to feed Lomberg, but that pass is broken up by Goodrow. Leaves it behind for Liljegren, and he'll bounce it off to Landry, stick it out. Farabee reverses the puck to Weegar. Slips it up the near side to Hanley, and then back to his partner. Now Weegar. This is Lomberg with a pass, and icing's waved off.
Went off a Shark stick, so that's why they were able to avoid an icing there.
Here's Thrun up the far side to Liljegren. Crosses the red line and fires it in behind Wolf's net. Flames rookie goalie tries to stop it, but misses it. And now it's centered in front, bouncing puck, and it hops harmlessly into the near corner. Backlund will drop it back to Ball. Lifts it up in the air and over the head of Ruda. Into Sharks territory, and Carlson will hustle back to get it. Carlson falls. Still makes a pass up the left wing side to Celebrini. Drops to Kovalenko, who gives it away to Backlund, and the Flames captain will knock the puck to the neutral zone. Carlson, right wing side to Smith. He tries to make a pass, but deflects out. Here comes Huberdeau in. Huberdeau trying to flip the puck to Kadri, who catches up to it in the near corner and drops it to Huberdeau. Slides it behind the net to Kadri, who shoots off the outside of Romanov's net. Huberdeau and Smith battling for it. Puck will pop out. Klopka's going to pick it up along the near boards, and it's stuck between a couple of Sharks defenders. He's trying to hold the puck in, and they will, as Klopka pokes it into the near corner. It falls as Vlasic tries to clear the zone but can't. Weegar pinching it off the right point. Leave it in the far corner for Klopka. Using that big frame to protect the puck. He moves it far corner to Kadri. His centers. Huberdeau the redirect, and it goes just wide. Boy, a chance there for the Flames to hammer probably a final nail into the Sharks' coffin.
Another really good shift from that line, too.
Yep. Flames have gotten better as this game's gone along, don't you think?
They have.
I mean, the bar was pretty low with how they started.
Well, I like the fact that they got a nice break on the 3-2 goal, capitalized on it, and then really got to their game to make sure that they're shutting anything down for San Jose.
I think they earned that break, though, Pat, because they were not very good in the first, and they had a 2-1 lead. And then they were the better of the two teams in the second, and to start the third, and the Sharks scored the only goal of the second before the Flames got the 2 goals here in the third. And well, they've built their game, and they've built a 2-goal lead with now less than 5 minutes remaining in regulation time. We'll take our final break tonight. We'll see if the Flames can close this contest out, sweep their 4-game season series versus the Sharks, and keep their Stanley Cup playoff hopes alive. It is the Flames 4 and the Sharks 2, and this is Calgary Flames Hockey on Sportsnet 960 and streaming on the Sportsnet app.
On air and online, this is your home of Calgary Flames Hockey. Brought to you by Eastside Dodge and Shane Holmes. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
An Arctic spa from Paradise Bay makes hot tubbing easy. Their exclusive Forever Floor is engineered to sit on any level surface, eliminating costly and painful site prep. The revolutionary auto care water system Spa Boy takes away all the hassles of water care. From their comprehensive delivery and setup to the online proactive monitoring of your spa, they're making it easier for everyone to enjoy the benefits of owning an Arctic spa. You deserve one. Find your Arctic spa at goparadisebay.com.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. Big skies, rugged landscapes. Now that's Alberta in a nutshell. And if you're looking for an SUV that can keep up with this place, check out the Ford Bronco. Built for those who crave adventure, with serious off-road capability and style to spare. Whether you're hitting the mountain trails or exploring the back roads, it's the perfect ride for those who want to experience everything this province has to offer. The Ford Bronco. Adventure awaits at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
You're listening to Calgary Flames Hockey on your home of the Flames. Sportsnet 960, The Fan.
Well, it's been a back-and-forth battle here at Scotiabank Saddledome on this Sunday. Tyler Toffoli gave the Sharks a 1-0 lead before Mackenzie Weegar and Adam Klopka scored to make it 2-1 Flames through 20 minutes. But Jan Ruda scored the only goal of the second period to tie the contest at 2, and the Flames respond in their most important period of the season with a couple of goals in the third. Igor Sharangovich and Matt Coronado score to make it 3-2 and 4-2 respectively, and that's where we're at with just under 5 minutes remaining in regulation time in this game against the Sharks. The Flames, I hope they haven't forgotten what happened on Wednesday night in Anaheim, where they had a 2-goal lead in the final 4 minutes and blew it and lost 4-3 in overtime to the Ducks. They can't let that happen again against the Sharks tonight. Their season is on the line. Carlson will bounce it up the far boards, over to Wenberg. He's being chased by Backlund. Wenberg, hit, knocked off the puck by the Flames captain, goes down to one knee and leaves it in behind the net for Carlson, who's being pressured by Huberdeau, but gets it out. Now Backlund, backhanded up the near boards to Thompson, who crosses the Flames line. Thompson with a shot, punched into the far corner by Wolf, and now Weegar will bounce it to Huberdeau. He can't corral it, but Backlund grabs it and slides it ahead to Klopka, who's got 2 points tonight. Backlund will chase it in and throw a big body check on Thompson along the end boards. Here's Huberdeau to Kadri. Stick handles in behind Romanov's net and turns into the near corner with it. Kadri spins to his right, gets hit by Ruda, but shovels the puck into the far corner to Huberdeau. Huberdeau protecting it from Thompson, leaves it for Kadri as Klopka gets taken down by Kovalenko, and the Sharks will bring the puck out to center. Bortolo bounces it off the boards and in. Weegar will go back to get it and slide it ahead to Kadri. He's able to clear it out. Can't settle down the bouncing puck though, and now it's picked up and flipped right back in by Wenberg. 3:25 to play in the third period. Calgary leading San Jose 4-2 in a must-win hockey game for the Flames. If they can hold on, they'll be 3 points behind the Wild and 2 points behind the Blues in the fight for the final 2 playoff spots in the Western Conference. Flames get it in deep. Liljegren being chased by Sharon Govich. The puck squirts in front, but Celebrini's there to rescue it. He'll bounce it off the boards and out, and now Smith will shoot it in from center. Wolf will stop it and wrist it up the near boards. Bounces off Sharon Govich, but not out of the zone. Liljegren holds it in and rims it around to the far corner to Toffoli. Plays it left point. Wenberg hit. Gives it away to Anderson, who slides it to Sharon Govich, who shoots and scores! Yegor Sharangovich puts the puck in the empty Sharks net. His second goal of the game, his fourth goal in the last 3 games, and the 101st goal of his NHL career, and the Flames have a 5-2 lead. Well, Yegor Sharangovich has been playing much better hockey of late. Much more emotionally and physically engaged, and it's good to see him get rewarded offensively. With 2 points tonight, he now has 6 points in his last 6 games. And the Flames have a 3-tally lead with less than 3 minutes left.
Second of the night, and his 17th of the year, scored by number 17, Yegor Sharangovich! That's the number 4, Rasmus Anderson. Empty netter, 17-16. Sharangovich's second of the night, 17th of the year. His to Anderson. Empty netter, 17-16.
Romanov back in the Sharks net with his team trailing by 3, and now just over 2 minutes remaining in the third period here at Scotiabank Saddledome. The Flames, assuming they hold on to win this one, set up what is going to be a nail-biting Tuesday night. They'll play host to the Golden Knights, who have already clinched the Pacific Division. And then you've got 2 other games that we will be keeping a very close eye on the Alberta Ford Dealers out-of-town scoreboard, involving the 2 teams they're chasing, the Wild and the Blues. As Coleman gets a shot away, which is gloved by Romanov, and he'll hold on. Well, the Flames will live to play another day, and we will have to wait and see what happens on Tuesday. They do need some help. Flames do not control their own destiny, but if one of, or better yet, both of, the Wild and the Blues lose on Tuesday night, then the Flames would control their own destiny going into their final game of the season, assuming they win. But they'll play the final game of the season in the NHL against the Kings in Los Angeles on Thursday. But in order for that to mean something, the Flames will have to beat the Golden Knights on Tuesday and then hope that the Blues lose to the Utah Hockey Club or the Wild fall to the Ducks. Face-off coming up to Romanov's left with 1:40 to play in the third period. The Calgary leading San Jose 5-2. Sharangovich with a shot, blockered away by Romanov. Igor Sharangovich trying to complete his hat trick here. Here's Pospisil. Hasn't seen a lot of ice time in the back half of this hockey game. He gets the puck in deep. And the Sharks will clear it out. Pospisil back to get it. I suspect he's playing through something. Pospisil will leave it far side for Pahal. He lifts it up and out. And on the stoppage with 1:13 left in the third period. And as mentioned, Nazem Kadri and the Flames will play their final home game of the regular season on Tuesday night when they'll take on Tomas Hertl and the Pacific Division champion, Vegas Golden Knights. Live from the Hot Stove Lounge, Pat will host Flames warm-up at 6 before Megan and I take over with the call of the game from the Peterborough Radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota at 7. A Flames penalty on the play. Must be delay of game, yeah. Pahal's in the box, Sharks on the power play. Flames on a Wolf Cadillac Calgary penalty kill. Here is Wenberg with a shot, gloved by Wolf. And the Flames rookie goalie and Calder Trophy candidate will hold on. Probably haven't talked about, or at least enough about, how good Dustin Wolf has been in this game. The Sharks were dominant early and Wolf kept the Flames close. And as we have said so many times this season, if not for his heroics, who knows where this game goes. In the final 60 seconds now, here's Eklund with a shot stopped by Wolf. Rebound to Foley, can't pick up the puck. Smith will grab it and drop it to Wenberg. He slides it far circle, Celebrini. Download it to Foley, back to Celebrini with a one-timer. Stopped by Wolf, who loses his mask, and whistle sounds to stop the play as that puck might have hit him right in the head. I think it's probably always just a little bit sweeter for Dustin Wolf when his team picks up 2 points against this team, because he is a native of Gilroy, California, which is about 30 miles from San Jose. Grew up a Sharks fan, and he has had a lot of success against his hometown team. He is well on his way to improving to 7-1-0 versus the Sharks to start his career. And you got to think that with the way Wolf has played down the stretch and with the way the Flames have played as they try to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs, that has strengthened his candidacy for the Calder Trophy. Here's Celebrini. He might be a finalist too. He plays it right point to Smith, but gives it to Wenberg, who taps it to Celebrini, who shoots. Wolf with the save, and he swats the rebound out of harm's way. 30 seconds left in the third period. Flames lead the Sharks by 3 as Coleman tries to clear but can't. Wenberg holds it in left point and slides it across to Smith, who winds and fires. Wolf with the right pad save, and Coleman will pick the puck up, but he can't clear it out, but Backlund will knock it out. And now we've got a foot race for it. Backlund taken down by Smith. The captain does get it in deep. We're into the final 10 seconds now. And the sea of red rises here at Scotiabank Saddledome. It wasn't easy, but the Flames lived to play another day. They win what was a must-win hockey game as they come from behind to beat the Sharks by a final score of 5-2 to keep their Stanley Cup playoff hopes alive. So with this win, Flames pick up a much-needed 2 points. They are now 3 points behind the Wild for the first wild card spot in the Western Conference, and 2 points behind the Blues for the second wild card spot in the West. And they still do have 1 game in hand on both teams. But again, this win by the Flames over the Sharks sets up what is going to be a nerve-wracking Tuesday night. It's going to be a lot of fun, let's be honest. I don't think many people thought the Flames, 80 games into the season, would still be fighting for a Stanley Cup playoff spot. But here we are, and they are. So here's what's coming up on Tuesday night. 3 games, huge consequences. At 6 o'clock Mountain Time, the Blues will host the Utah Hockey Club, and the Wild will host the Ducks. And then at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, the Flames will host the Golden Knights. So all 3 teams fighting for the 2 wildcard spots at home on Tuesday night. The Blues and the Wild with an opportunity to clinch. Flames with a chance to stay alive. Here are the Equus 3 stars.
Number 10, Jonathan Huberdeau. And your second star tonight from the Calgary Flames with the goal and an assist, number 43, Adam Klapka. And your first start tonight from your Calgary Flames with 2 goals, number 17, Yegor Sharangovich.
Well, there's an old saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And for Yegor Sharangovich this season, and for the Flames in this hockey game, it wasn't about how they started. It was about how they finished. Tonight's 3 stars selected by our very own Pat Steinberg and powered by Equus, delivering reliable power to businesses, farms, and homes in rural Alberta. Choose community. Choose Equus. Join the province's largest power co-op at equs.ca. The third star, truth be told, he had been struggling a little bit. Only had 1 point in 8 games coming into this contest, and he's had an outstanding season. Second on the team in goals.